And we are live. It is Sunday, April 26th, 2020, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on the West Coast, which Steve will tell you is the best coast. So there we are with that. And it is the Sunday Night Hang. I'm Ben Coombs, and joining me we have the Rummeister.
Hi, everybody.
We have the Captain.
I'm Ben.
We have Mr. Nez himself, Dave Nesdahl.
Hey!
What's going on, everybody?
We have the Cap.
Oh, someone's got something going on. Want to do that all again?
Triple. All again.
Yeah. Like
and we're live!
And be able to point at three people on screen without screwing it up, right? I was like, damn, I'm 2 for 2 here.
We're all here.
Yes.
Ben?
We're omnipresent. So let's see. In the chat, we have Terry's GG&G, Music Therapy, Laz, Bent, Tom, Butt Cheeks himself, Brenda B. Squared, Absolute Mayhem. My chat skipped ahead. There are Peter DeBad, my lovely sister Amanda, my good buddy Mark Taft, Gurr is in here, Dana, New Jersey. There's Albus Band. Good to see you, man. Aaron Lee himself, Joe Metalhead Hervey, Dennis Brio, some guy named Michael Smith. That could be anybody with a name like that.
Exactly. Watch out for that guy.
Oh, dear Lord. Quentin James himself, or as I call him, Pops. Frank Cooper, Terry Himes.
He actually types it.
We'll get to that, Quentin. I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Thomas Santiago.
Nice.
Matthew Stewart. Nice crowd already in here. So yes, folks, if you're into, I don't know, looking at guitars, talking about guitars, I think we got, 40 or 50 or so to show tonight, folks. So
Yes.
yeah, I hope you have a performance-enhancing beverage.
Yes.
And I'm just going to start with Steve because I know he's already got the first guitar he's ever owned right in his hands
Yes,
here.
I do.
Right to it.
So my mom that we talked about off air that passed away, her father, my grandfather, Fred Hawkins, and his dad was born in England, but Fred was born in Vancouver on the mainland. He was a flamenco guitar player and also a flamenco dancer. And I'm talking about at the Royal Theatre down here in Victoria. I have photos of him dancing on stage with his whole Spanish outfit. And so he's a flamenco guitar player as well. And this guitar he gave to me, it didn't have the Heineken beer labels on it when I was 12 years old. But the first musical endeavor I was in, me and a buddy of mine was a singer, and I played guitar. And so between those late night sessions, figuring out songs and what songs we're going to play and just mastering the first set lists I ever did as a teenager, late teens. Anyway, whatever reason, the beer labels would end up on this guitar, glued on. Pretty cool design on the side, I think.
Yeah, you did a really good job with that.
Yeah, no, it's just a joke, really. I'm just showing it because it's actually the first guitar I ever had. This is me, like as a 13-year-old, 12 years old when I got it. The air guitaring on my bed to Ace Frehley solos, basically. This would be the one.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I'd have to go into it to see if there's a name inside of this thing. But yeah, yeah, that's the story of this one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Dave, did you have a guitar you want to show us?
Well, yeah, it's going to be my latest guitar. I'm not going chronologically because it's just too big, too much of a challenge.
We are.
It's going to be my new 63 ES335 custom shop.
That is badass.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were showing that off briefly on Thursday night on Nez Says.
Yeah. It's killer. It's absolutely. I've owned a couple of these before, and it seems each year since the inception of doing this particular guitar, they've gotten better and better and better and better. Well, this is a 2017, and I believe this is the last year they made this guitar. And this guitar, I've played some original 63s and 64s. This particular guitar is as good and feels and sounds just as good as an original one. It's incredible. They got everything right. They've got everything right.
Yeah.
They've got the color right. They've got the wood grain right. They've got the neck feel right. It's all hide glue. It's the pickups are super low impedance. They're very low low output. They got nylon saddles like the old ones did.
Nice.
A nylon nut.
The block inlays seem a little smaller on that one, like they should be.
Yeah, well, I think they made them that small since its inception, but
okay.
I think the color may be right. You know, they just like it doesn't look like plastic. It looks like real mother of pearl. Just everything about the guitar is right. The neck angle, because these guitars, the neck angle was a little more shallow than like most of the reissues. The neck angle was very steep, so the pickups would be high out and the bridge would be really high up.
Right.
Everything is really close to the body, but still you have plenty of wiggle room to go down and up on the bridge. So the pickups are super, they're really low.
Oh,
but
wow,
on the very first one of these, the pickups would be really super high out of the cavity. The neck angle is really steep. The bridge is super high. It cuts into your arm.
Oh.
No, it's
God.
yeah. But they really got this right. And the sound of this guitar, it's to die for. It's just, it's got that. Let me do this without distortion so I don't kill anyone's ears. But it's got that. It's got that semi-hollow thing that just you want with this.
That glassy sound, yeah.
But also when you turn it up and you put overdrive on, it doesn't howl because it's got a center block. And Pete Thorne has an original one of these, and this looks just like his guitar.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. What's the official color of the body on that, Dave?
Well, they call it cherry.
Nice.
How's it look to your eye? Because obviously it's kind of hard to see. It looks cherry.
Yeah, they call it cherry. Can you solo me for a second?
Sure.
I just want to get this really close up so you guys can see this.
There we go.
Oh, look at the grain in it.
Yeah, the grain of the wood is just crazy.
That is sick.
Bring it real close and pull it back slow.
Yeah, it's like cherry with just a hint of brown in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll show you the back.
Oh, look at that thing.
That's gorgeous. Exactly. Dang.
That's that guitar.
Ben Tom, since Dave showed that gorgeous guitar, why don't you take a shot in his honor? I can do that, Ben Tom. Hint, hint.
Wow.
Do that.
Thank you.
While Captain grabs himself a guitar here to show us. And I see Mr. Lawrence Petross design himself in here. Nice.
The one I'm going to show you, I've never showed on any of these shows since I've been popping on. It's unplayable. Okay?
That's okay.
Piece of shit. My grandmother gave it to me. So this is the first
There you go.
I've ever had.
There you go. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So let me first of all, real quick, I'll pick up the hopefully you can see it. I can put the light on if you can't.
And welcome to everybody joining in. We got 55 people watching already here. It's awesome.
Look at that case. It is just beat up. You got Springsteen over there, WAPP, The Who, 1982 tour.
Nice.
Yeah. So let me open this up. I was at that show, by the way. It is a non guitar, but it's everything to me.
Cool.
Is that a Gallant?
Look at this thing. It's missing a button. This is how you switch the pickups. It's missing 1, 0,
Jeez.
1, M, 2, so you can mix them up.
Awesome.
With a trim bar in the middle.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
That's wacky but cool.
You know what it reminds me of is a Nutter guitar in many ways. Brian Nutter's guitars for sure.
Really?
Do we know?
Yeah.
Do we know where those are made, Michael?
It's Italian.
Oh wow.
Yep. If you Google it, you'll pull it up.
I was going to say Italian by way of Japan, possibly.
I have no idea. I think it's actually Italian made, to be honest with you. It's probably worth $1 million. I have no freaking clue, but
Well, if they had that one,
to me, it's worth $1 million.
sure.
You know what I mean?
What's the
My
what's
grandma.
the color? Is that like a? Sorry, it's a bit dark where you on the camera, Michael. Is that a sunburst of some kind? Tobacco burst?
Let me get some more light in here.
Maybe that. Yeah.
Let me open up the roof to the boat. Hold on.
Hurricane Moon says, surprised it has no built-in speaker. It's gorgeous. Hey, what's up, Doc? Wolverine. ZD351. Hugh Caldwell. Milt.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Is the back is just black, Michael?
Nope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like it.
And then it's all, it's got that. I'm the happy owner of 55905. All right.
Wow. It's like a bit of a long neck plate on that one.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool for what it is. It's. Oh, would your dog take a bite out of the end? There it is.
That's the headstock. Look at that thing.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That thing has, that's like surf guitar written all over it.
Yeah.
I mean, first guitar I ever owned from my grandma. Never give it away.
Of course. Nice.
I've seen cars from the 50s that have that design kind of on the tail of the sides of some of those cars in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Definitely
fit.
some space age stuff going on there.
Yep.
Frank Orton likes it. What's up, Doc likes it. Jack the Rabbit likes it. Hugh Caldwell said, yeah, it kind of reminds him of 60s Tysco.
Yeah, Hugh Caldwell kind of hit it on the head.
It also has a custom case. I mean, really?
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, so Hugh Caldwell says it reminds him a little like the Albert Lee. I think that's where they got the Albert Lee. That's where Music Man may have gotten that from.
Oh, that's a good point, man. I have that guitar.
Yeah, and Lawrence, just mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
Wow. So how old were you, Michael Smith, when your family gave you that guitar?
My grandma gave it to me. I must have been about 8.
Nice.
8 or 9, something like that. Yeah.
William De Silva's asking what the button was behind the trem arm. I'm guessing to adjust string or spring tension on the trem.
I think it's a spring tension. To be honest with you, I haven't touched the guitar in about 15 years. I have to mess around with it again. I'm gonna, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my quarantine thing when I get back from work. I'm gonna be gone all next week.
There we go.
I'm gonna make this thing playable.
And if not, we know the Guitar Whisperer could definitely take a look at it.
Absolutely.
Send it on over.
Dave, how old were you when you got your first guitar, Dave?
5.
Wow.
I could tell you all what it was. I just don't have it.
Yeah, right.
Tell us.
It was a late 50s. Could have been a 58 or 59 Gibson Les Paul Jr. Single cut.
Wow.
Single cut, two-tone sunburst.
I bet you still wish you had that one.
You're damn right. I wish I did. I was 5. I didn't know what I had, and I think it was like $60 or $70.
Right. What and who got you that one, Dave?
Well, my grandmother. This is how it happened. I remember it like it was yesterday because my grandmother was alive, and I was just maybe throwing a tennis ball up in the air, and she came outside and was like, "Do you want to take guitar lessons? You want to play guitar?" I'm like, "Okay." And the house that was standing where I'm living, which burnt down back in 07, it was a three-story house, 3-family house, three apartments, and one of the tenants was a guitar teacher. So she went to him and said, "Listen, teach my grandson guitar lessons and get him a cheap guitar, and I'll take $100 off your rent each month." And he agreed. and he got me a Les Paul Jr. and gave me lessons for like a couple years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
nice.
What about you, Ben?
What's
Ben,
that?
What was your first guitar and how old were you?
You still have it.
I had the 3/4 size Framus I've shown on here. It's in the workshop right now. I used to drag that around the yard as a kid. But when I decided to play guitar at 14, I started out by playing Dad's Telly for a few months, and then answered an ad in the paper to go look at a guitar, and my first electric guitar was a 72 Les Paul Deluxe.
Wow.
Which I do wish I still had, of course. I didn't like the mini humbuckers, though. They didn't put out enough output to sound like Angus Young for my liking.
And those things, I love those pickups.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Now you search for that tone, right?
Back then, you're like, this ain't doing it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think I sold it in the summer of '92.
How much?
$500, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't worth much then.
No, everybody.
No one wanted them. No one,
Kramer still.
no one wanted them
because
because that's right. Because Nolan's owned Gibson at the time, and that was most of them were junk.
Yeah.
So.
And I think what was it, like something ridiculous, like Gibson really thought the Deluxe was going to be the model, so it was something crazy like 70% of all Les Pauls were the Deluxe model, and then 20% were standards, 10% were customs or something.
Yeah, yeah. Some Deluxes came with factory PAF, large, not PAFs, but humbuckers, factory humbuckers.
Right.
Some of them. Those are cool.
Very cool. What do you got next, Steve?
Okay, I'll go grab another one.
You go grab one. Say hey to Eddie Van Haskell. Good to see you. The feel button. My sister threatening the chat if they don't give thumbs ups.
Yeah, let's get thumbs up, man. Come on, let's get
Well, you know you're in trouble if my sister calls you a bucko.
You must be. We must be in happy days.
We must. Yeah. Well, she does refer to thumbs ups as Fonzies, so. Yes.
Okay,
This is the guitar that Jay Hannon dreams about at night, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. So the first electric I had was a Kramer. It was a white Kramer striker kind. It was white, just with the double humbucker. At the bridge and pointy headstock, and then it didn't have a Floyd Rose. So that era, it was kind of 1991-ish, and at that time, it was a lot of all those. What would you call it? Solo guitar albums were coming out, like Satriani and Steve Vai and Paul Gilbert. They're all Ibanez guys. And for whatever reason, I walked into my guitar shop and I saw this hanging. I think there's a blue with a black pickguard one. This is Ibanez RG 750, and it was probably 1992. So I would have been like 21, and all these like two double humbuckers, the single coil in the middle, and the 5-way switch, and all these options. I'm like, yeah, why not? It probably does everything, but. Yeah, I said this to Dave before, just for me now, because now it's like for me, like, and just in general, anyone who's young here, like you got to really go in a guitar shop and grab a Les Paul, grab a Fender Strat, grab an Ibanez, grab a Charvel, just all the different guitars, and really feel what feels right on the neck, and that can take a while to figure out. And for me now, I like a Fender Strat neck. It's got a bit of wood on the back. Like this is super thin. But when you're 21 years old in 1992, and you're just looking at it, it looks pretty cool, and it has all these options. I went for it. That's without even sitting down and playing it.
Really?
Which is a big.
You saw it and you were like, "I'm taking that."
Yeah. So I'm talking about people maybe with. I mean, I've been playing since I was a teenager, right? So 30-something years. So it's like, I'm just talking to people who maybe don't have a lot of experience. Is you want to sit down and maybe play a few and figure out what really feels like. This is kind of like sort of a sucker what things look like. But I mean, it sounds great. It plays okay just for me now, because I like a Fender Strat neck or a Charvel neck. Feels the best to me nowadays. But I dealt with it back then. But now like this guitar, I never play. So it's just sort of a wall hanging. Yeah.
Man, take those
with
stickers off
with
and
red, with the red rocker stickers all over it.
Yeah, we were, Seattle's not far from here, and the grunge era came, and Sammy Hagar definitely was making the flannel shorts and flannel shirts, and
Yeah.
that's the sticker that would come with the clothing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Haskell says that guitar needs some Motorhead stickers.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's badass, though, man.
I like that guitar.
Yeah, it's a cool guitar.
No, it's
When's the last time you played it? I mean, when's the last time you played it? Because it looks like that you could probably get some killer sounds out of that thing.
Yeah, it's just the neck. Like, just for me in general, like even playing with my band, we're playing a birthday party at the Garage Mahal, we call it. Just standing with the guitar, like, and playing, for me, when you shut your eyes, it's about the neck, the feel of the neck. And then for me, I've had some problems with Fender Strats, like hitting a volume. Now we're going to get to that. And so, like, it doesn't matter what the paint job is. It's about, what the neck feels like and the sound that you're getting out of your amp. Other than that, it doesn't matter what color it is or anything to do maybe with the body color, design, shape. I mean, I like Strat style bodies, but that's just my own opinion about how the feel of the neck is really a big thing with me. And then obviously the sound, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna go run grab another one.
Yeah.
You go and do that. Do you have something handy there, Dave?
I do. Speaking of Strats, we're going to talk about my custom shop Masterbuilt 69 Strat. It's,
I give up. I'm not bringing anything out. I give up.
This is a Jason Smith built guitar that I got last week from my buddy Dennis, and it's black over pink paisley.
Wow.
It's roasted body, roasted neck, big tall frets. It's another really resonant guitar.
Yeah.
Able to get really low action and get two-step bends at it. I can. It's everything. This
I would think a 9.5-inch radius on the. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 9.5-inch radius. It's just, it's perfect. It feels like an old friend, this guitar.
And after seeing that, you showing off that guitar on a couple of live streams, I was may have been on Reverb last night looking at CBS era Strats because I was just like, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Well, I love all era Strats, but I really believe in my heart that the bigger headstock, it's got a little bit bigger sound because a little bit more wood.
I agree.
That being said, also this is a nitro finish on top of the enamel finish of the paisley.
Right.
It's not a very heavy guitar, but it's there's something to it. It's just something to this. It sounds a bit different. Plus, I like the fact that it still doesn't have the bullet up here. You still have to get to the truss rod from down here.
Right.
Because those bullets, they kind of like if you get in there wrong with the wrench, they really strip easy, and I hate that. And it just this guitar is just it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites.
Lawrence from LPD Pedals is saying 90s Strats are his favorite era. They were great too.
Sure.
And shout out to my cousin Doug, the Down and Back with Corn Doug, along with a bunch of others that have jumped in. We got 72 people watching, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
And yes, Ben Tom, you're right. He's like, Ben wants he just picked up an actual 69 Strat a few months ago, and he's like, Ben wants it, and I'm like, yes, I do.
Well, who wouldn't?
Well, and he got a nice deal on it because it was played hard. Like it's been around, it's beat up, and the collector market, there's a huge portion. They just don't want that stuff.
Yeah.
Fine, leave it for us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Ike from Flipside Music joining us. Awesome.
Hey,
Six String Brian's looking at a John Cruz built 56 custom shop Strat.
A lot of money. Good stuff. John Cruz is one of the best. Yep. He's one of the best because not only are his builds the best, but he's his eye for relicking is probably there's 2 or 3 guys there that really know how to do the relicking. This guy, Jason Smith, Dale Wilson, I think is the best guy. He's, I think, one of their newest guys. But when you get a Dale Wilson relic guitar, it looks like an original guitar. I mean, it really does. He goes all out, getting the smoke on it. Just like there's smoky rings around the pickups and around the tuning peg holes. There's usually him and John Cruz. They're the 2 best. They're just the 2 best. Then there's the Jason Smith, and then then it goes down as with the other guys. But yeah, just incredible stuff. So if you have the dough and you can get that John Cruz, I suggest getting it. It's
John Cruz has always been one of my favorites, and I've seen him around the NAMM shows. He does a lot of Q&A stuff, which is really cool. And I went outside to have a vape at NAMM this year, and I saw John outside, and I walked up to him, and it was near the end of the day. You could tell it'd been a long day, and he was fairly dismissive of me. I just said hi. I just wanted to. Big fan of your work. And he's, well, yeah. I said, I found out about you through Johnny Beane. All of a sudden his demeanor changed. Oh, Johnny Beane. I'm like, God damn, is there anybody Johnny doesn't know? Really?
He's been around a while.
It's nice to know everybody.
I saw Johnny talking with him, like the previous day or the day before or something like that. So I was like, you know what? We'll drop the Johnny Beane name when needed. And it works. What are we gonna say?
Why the hell not? Why the hell not?
Music therapy, Laz. Hi, what's up, bro?
There's Laz. Good to see you. David Ennis. Good to see you.
David Stratocaster Ennis. Speaking of Stratocasters.
Yes.
Wow.
What do you have there, Captain?
Did we do a roll call first? We have a lot of people popping in here. You want to do a roll call?
I did an earlier one, but I am going to do an updated that features, there's Steve Anderson in the chat, but we got BC Rich 581, Laz, Fruitcake Tony's jumped in since then, Jack the Rabbit, Vance Hicks. Let's see here. There's Mark Taft, Surf B, Jamal Kareem, Metalhead Hippie. I think we've got Merrill J. All kinds of people in here. Knucklehead Zero, which I hope his friend is doing better. He had a bad accident last week. Dwight Bailey. Gary Davlin. Yeah. Kinds of folks in here.
Cool, man. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a USA Fender Stratocaster 8283. Forget which year it is. But this was my original my Frankenstein, because I just changed everything on the damn thing. You can see how old it is because I have a Taylor tremolo system in it. And I tell you right now, this thing stays in tune.
Nice.
It's if you look at it, again, it's an original USA. It only has one tone knob.
Right.
Volume on it. And
83.
3. Okay, 83. Yeah. So this is an EVH Wolfgang pickup.
Nice.
This is DiMaggio hot rod pickup, and this is a what's the hell's name of it? Hold on, it'll come to me. Pink Floyd. Come on, help me.
David
Gilmour. And that's the configuration I put in. I've changed these things around a lot as far as these two go, just bouncing up and down just to get different sounds.
Sure.
This particular setup I love because I can get such a different array of sounds out of the damn thing. And it's one of my favorite guitars, man. It plays great, and it always stays in tune, even with a Kaler.
And Jack the Rabbit was noticing, he's like, what's up with that nut? Yes, when they couldn't use the patent for the Floyd Rose style locking nut, right? Various companies were coming up with these clamping systems behind the nut.
What's the official color of that, Michael? That body?
It's black.
Oh, okay.
None more black.
Dead ass black. Yep.
Yes, an internal spring mechanism too with that, right? With the Kaler system.
Yep.
Very cool.
this guitar is neat, man. Especially since it's kind of different because it's only one like it.
Well, I'd say it's that brief snapshot in time, that early 80s when people they knew, Eddie had come on the scene. Everyone was trying to come up with these locking trim, Strat, super Strat guitars. And then, Floyd Rose and Kramer had hooked up and they did their exclusive deal. So the rest of the company was like, well, how are we going to build something that's going to be able to do that? And we had a lot of innovation as a result.
Yeah, and look at the top of this. I don't know if you can see this from the side, just the way he had to elevate the locking nut on it.
Yeah.
That's crazy, eh?
Look at that.
So what year did you get that one, Michael? Did you have that like new?
Yes, brand new.
Really?
Yep,
Wow.
brand new.
So you bought that guitar when it was brand new in a store?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
So
It's pretty incredible.
Hey, there's the padded pedal room out of Montreal, Quebec. And for those that are Kaler fans, because I know like Dave Nesdall's a huge Kaler fan, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Kalers are in fact still being made, I believe in Las Vegas by Mr. Kaler himself, and they're strictly U.S. parts being made these days.
That's too bad.
And I only know that because the owner of BC Rich was on with the Tone King the other night, and they were asking about putting Kalers on BC Riches again, and he said we can do that.
Wow.
So we'll pass that along to Vancouver.
my one of the first 1,000 Rainy Road models ever made. There's a Kaler on that. In fact, Sean Silas has it right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's had that for quite a while. I'm sure he's got some good use out of that.
Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
So, are you showing us anything, Ben?
Why not?
Yeah.
You got to pull something out there.
All right. Let's go with the Music Man.
I had my eye on that when he was saying, let's show something.
I guess technically this would be my latest acquisition, although it sat here for about 6 months before I actually bought it. And so this would be the Ernie Ball Music Man Access Super Sport, a 2009. What kind of pickups were in these, Dave?
DiMarzio's.
Okay.
Yeah, they say that they're DiMarzio's made for Music Man, but
Right.
if you really, I mean, it's really an Air Norton in the neck and a tone zone in the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Without the names, without those names, that's basically what they are.
I really like it, and I love the 5-way switching. It has very much that Ibanez style 5-way switching, right? With some kind of coil tapping, phasey goodness. I don't know what's going on. All I know is I like it.
Yeah, it's very cool, and the middle position is just killer.
Oh yeah,
Super clean.
Yeah.
How's the neck on that one, Ben?
Awesome. I would say it feels a little smaller than. It's hard for me to compare. I was trying to think because I've never played like an EVH Music Man, for instance, but I've held PVs, I've held EVHs, and it feels smaller than the EVH neck of mine. Kind of the same shape, not quite as I guess more symmetrically rounded. Would that make sense? It doesn't feel as asymmetrical.
Yeah,
And just a little smaller overall.
Steve, on your Musicraft 5150 style necks,
Yes,
did
sir.
you get the EVH 8191?
Yes, and for my Charvel necks as well.
Okay, so that's what that feels like, but not asymmetrical like yours. The round part's going to go right dead center.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. Yeah, and I just ordered one of those. I'm venturing off now because I got an email from Musicraft that they're no longer doing bodies. They're just going to be doing necks. So anybody that's thinking about it, officially as of last weekend, that's it for Musicraft bodies. I used to get Kramer Pacer bodies from Musicraft, and I get the whether it was a Charvel neck or I'd get the banana headstock neck to do the 5150 builds. I used to like it because I get both in the same box. So I'm only paying for shipping and handling once, and I haven't delved that far into these different bodies for those builds. But anyway, I've had to venture off to other companies now for bodies. So it's a shame, though, because the guys at Musicraft are super nice to me. That's for sure, yeah.
Well, go visit Chris Locke for the bodies, because tell you the truth, they're actually closer to correct.
Yeah, I've ordered one, Dave, from Locke Custom Guitars, and I've ordered, Rob Johnson recommended this Butala.
The Butala neck?
Yeah, so Rob Johnson recommended that. But Butala also offers a body. So I'm doing some testing because I got, I'll get into it a bit later, but the Kramer 5150 on Vancouver Island here, a lot of people want them built by me. So I've got a bit of stuff going on the side. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, if you need anything measured and replicated, Steve, let me know. You can always talk to my buddy Travis. He does have a CNC machine, and he is in Victoria.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and I do have an issue I'm going to bring up in a while with a body that was sent to me. So we'll get into that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Steve, your turn.
Oh,
that chair is going to be filled with guitars in a minute.
By the end of it, he's just sitting on the very front edge of the chair, right?
Mm-hmm. So funny.
Some
people in the chat asking Mr. Lawrence about pedals. Good. Buy lots of pedals from Lawrence, please.
Yeah, guys. So this is I'm gonna say early '90s. I had my fancy new red and Ibanez with the black pickguard, and around here in Victoria, lots of camping. There's lots of mountains to go camping on. So yeah, someone's got to play music. So my buddy again, that we did shows like just a singer and guitar in coffee shops and some high school parties and stuff, and just post high school, like college parties. So anyway, I needed something to go camping with, and just as long as it's making a sound, like these Kramer Farringtons, that's what this is. It's a very thin body, but it is acoustic electric. You can see the electronics in there. Here's the knobs for it. This is kind of, for me, I call it the second version because it has shark tooth inlays on it. I would say one of the original ones would have had dot inlays on it. So this is kind of what I'd call the second version. I'm not a complete expert on these, but I beat the crap out of this thing. You can see all the wear and on it. I mean, I'm hiking this on the side of my backpack, and there's scrapes all over it from trees hitting it. And as long as someone was singing and I was hitting basic chords, we were okay. You got to entertain people when you're camping, right? So,
cool. Right. So I know you call them shark tooth inlays, but if you really look closely, that's the headstock. Those are the pointed headstocks.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. That makes sense to me. Yeah. Cool.
Very cool. And that is, I will say, Steve, it may not be the best tonally available guitar, but for the cool factor,
yeah,
they're cool.
High up. I mean, it's designed to look like an electric guitar, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're very cool guitars for what they are, and acoustic, it's loud. I mean, plugged in, they sound very good.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're not very expensive either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Bent Tom says, I need to get a third LPD pedal. Yes, you do. I know he's been shopping for some new gear. Do you have another guitar handy, Dave?
I do, actually. So this guitar I'm about to show.
Asking Dave if he has another guitar handy. It's like asking, are you going to eat tomorrow?
Yes. Well, one of the problems is I always forget he does have another rack of guitars just off camera.
I make sure I get a guitar ready before it's my turn. So this guitar, a gentleman from Facebook contacted me and asked me, he showed me a picture of this guitar, and he says, what do you think it's worth? I'm thinking of selling it. I said, well, it's worth $1,500 to me. And he says, well, are you interested in buying it? I said, yeah, I am. and it's my 1983 all original ESP. It's actually an M2 because it's a 2 pickup model. I used to think it was an M1 because I didn't know much about ESP, but it's called an M2 because it's 2 pickups. M1s, of course, mean 1 pickup. It's all original except I just had it refretted, and that's it. Everything on it is the way it was in 1983.
Wow.
Killer guitar. This guitar lives in E flat.
I like this.
It loves E flat. It doesn't like to be in standard tuning.
Really?
It just doesn't like it.
Some guitars are that way.
Yeah, it loves E flat. So this is my guitar that lives in E flat. The bridge is floating, stays in tune, clamps in tune. I never have had an issue tuning this guitar. The neck is stable as hell. I have nothing bad to say about this guitar. It's one of my favorites in the whole store, in the whole room.
Show the back of that neck again, man.
Sure.
Wow.
That is not relicking. That is not roasted. That is what 30 plus years of playing this guitar.
Right.
That looks badass though, man. Come on.
Yeah.
How's the neck feel on that one, Dave?
It's killer. It's there's no finish on it anymore. The finish is rubbed off. It's very I would say it's very 60s Fender, like mid 60s Fender. It's kind of like it's not slim tapered. It's thinner than 50s, but kind of like a 65, where it's a little bit more bulky than early 60s.
Wow.
It's very comfortable. The neck is very flat. I'd say this is a 12-degree radius. The action is almost on the fretboard, but it doesn't buzz at all. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's got a Duncan JB in the bridge, and I believe this is a 59 in the neck. It's either a 59 or a Jazz. I can't remember.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it's a 3-way switch. The
That's
floor
kind
rose.
of killer when you have them in the middle position, having those two.
Yeah, it does. The Floyd is original to the guitar, and it's from 1983. It's great. I didn't touch anything. I didn't do any upgrades. No FU tone upgrades on it. I wanted to leave this guitar original, other than the playability, which would be the larger frets, because the frets were almost as flat as the fretboard when I got it.
Nice. And before I forget, Music Therapy Les put in a super sticker, so I want to thank him for that. Appreciate that. And there we are. Boom. Beautiful.
Hey, Dave, I just wanted to ask about ESP, Dave. Do you know a bit of the history of ESP? Like, when would the first ESP guitar have been available? Do we know anything about the history at all?
I would say probably the late 70s.
Okay.
I'm thinking the late 70s. I know that 48th Street Custom in New York City on 48th Street, that was basically the USA Custom Shop, and that's where this guitar would have come from.
Wow.
Cool. So, yeah, it's not a Japanese guitar. This is a USA-made guitar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Michael?
rare, no?
I'm sorry?
It's going to be kind of rare, no? The USA ones?
Well, it's not that it's rare. Well, for today, it would be rare.
Yeah.
But back then, that's where you got them from. They were pretty much, you got your guitars from, and they were a parts place. They would just put bodies and necks together and build them as ESPs. It wasn't like, and they had a couple of guitars together that you could buy, but you'd go in there and you'd pick out your neck and you'd pick out your body, and they'd put it together for you and put ESP sticker on it. And that's what this was.
That is so cool, man.
Jack the Rabbit's asking, are any of these for sale? If the price is right, Jack.
None of them in my. Well, there's one guitar here for sale, and it's that Kamikaze right there.
Yes.
That Kamikaze for sale. If you know how to get in touch with me, I'm not going to discuss price on the internet. But if you don't know how to get in touch with me, get in touch with either one of these three guys here, and they'll give you my information.
Yep.
I'll talk to you. Or friend me on Facebook, David Nesdahl. That's the easiest way to do it. Friend me on Facebook. Send me a message. I'll let you know what the price is. And if you want to get it, you're more than welcome to. I do have two people fighting over it, but no one can get it until like next week. So I said, and I told both people, if it's still here next week by the time you're ready, then you can buy it. Other than that, it's staying for sale, and the first person that wants it gets it.
That's right.
Yep. There you go.
I agree on that. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn. Let's see here. So I have here I believe, Dave, 1986 Kramer.
That is correct. Yes.
Yes. I always think it's an 85 for some reason. That's why I always like to double check. So
85 would have a rounded headstock.
Thank you. Focus 6000. I picked this up a couple of years ago. It has a Duncan JB in the bridge. It has compliments of Sean Silas and the Captain Michael Smith, a Sean Silas Borden's Audio volume pod in it. And it is currently awaiting from Adam at FU Tone. It is getting a 42L brass block, noiseless springs, trem stop, and titanium saddle inserts, which should hopefully be here this week.
Wow. Quite the upgrade.
Very cool.
Unfortunately, the package has been sitting in customs for a week. So
Wow. So we got Hugh Caldwell chimed in. He says ESP first guitar 1975.
wow.
Very cool. Yeah. That sounds correct. I just didn't know the exact year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quite the upgrade you're giving that one, Ben.
Yeah, well, it started out. And I did put a detuna on it as well. But it started out as just getting a brass block for it. And Adam said, "Well, is that all you want to do?" I was like, "Well, what do you recommend, Adam? That's your job. You tell me what would be best for this." And so he changed it to a different block than I was looking at. And then he said, and then with the springs and this and that. And to keep it Canadian, it will be 2 red springs and 1 white spring.
All right. That's cool.
I love it.
Cool.
I love it.
Yep. And yes, the control cover is missing because I'm still waiting for it to come back. It's off being autographed by Gary Kramer.
Wow.
Nice.
Crazy.
Yes, thank you, friend of the channel, Gary Holt, who happens to be friends with Gary Kramer. And he's like, "Do you want me to get him to sign that for you?" I'm like, yes, please.
Gary Holt's cool, man.
Wow.
Yep.
So how's that neck for you on that one, Ben? How does that one feel?
Oh, beautiful. Nice, small, but rounded. It's not flat like an Ibanez.
Yeah.
But it's, a narrow dish. So, very thin sieve, but very comfortable. Thinner definitely than any of my Fenders, but not as thin as definitely as a Ibanez.
Nice.
Michael?
Okay. This is a 2016, I bought it used, Fender Elite
Oh, yeah.
guitar. And you probably can notice it right off the bat. You split the coil just like that.
The S1 switch.
Yes, the S1 switch.
Wow. So that's like the cherry burst? They call that cherry burst?
This color, let me put the light on again. I'm sorry. This color is what drew me into this guitar. I mean, I was looking for this guitar for a while, right? But I'm a top guy. I mean, I love, everything about guitars, but if it looks pretty, it catches my eye. And I fell in love with the look at this top of this guitar, man.
Yeah, man. It's ash body. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, are you sure it's a 16? Did they start that wheel on the bottom at 16? The adjustment wheel?
Whoop. Yep.
Oh, there you go. It's right there.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right there.
Yeah, I think it was when they did the Elites in 16. That was the first time they used that wheel on a Fender.
Cool. Well, yeah, I thought it was a year after, but that's cool, man. That's pretty cool.
And then
hey, listen, Nez says doesn't know everything.
Well, that's what it's called Nez Says and not Nez Knows.
Nez knows is very Jewish.
You're fucking killing me, Dave, right now.
Sorry, I got it tonight. I'm sorry. I just
You do. Here we go. Nez, question. Are these N3s? I think they are, correct?
I'm sorry.
Are these N3s noiseless? I know they're noiseless pickups.
Are they gold or silver? Does the word noiseless? Is it gold or silver?
Silver.
Yes, I'm almost positive that's what.
Yeah, I'm almost 100% as well.
Yes.
I think the thumb wheel thing, I'm going to get into it once we hit my Charvels here, but I think maybe Charvel was the 2017 where they went to thumb wheel. Maybe. It might be 2016 though. We'll get there though.
Look at the back of this too, man. Like the colors on this thing. I mean,
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
yeah.
That is beautiful.
And I got outbid for this thing when I first bought it. And whoever it was couldn't come up with the money. So I was like, okay, no problem. How about $100 less? He's like, yours.
Wow.
Music Therapy Laz, I believe that's called Cherry Sunburst.
Cherry Burst?
Yeah, I think it's called Cherry Burst or Cherry Sunburst.
Yeah. It seems to me like Fender's Cherry Burst is closer to Gibson's Honey Burst.
Yeah, not Cherry Sunburst, not Cherry Sunburst, Cherry Burst.
Yeah, Cherry Burst.
I'll get to. I have one. We'll get to it. I have a Fender Strat that's Cherry Burst. Yeah.
Well, it's pretty, man. It's pretty. It's pretty.
Awesome. There's Gravel Rocks band. Steve, good to see you, man. My knees hurt.
Man, that's some name.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, come on, show us the next one.
I went just before Michael. It's Steve's turn now.
Oh, Steve's turn. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Gravel Rocks band says, hey, Ben, 30 years of playing, and I just discovered putting an EQ pedal in the effects loop. What a game changer. Yep.
You know, you can also use like a Boss GE7 EQ as a boost.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually is probably one of the best sounding boosts for soloing. If you have an amp that's already on the edge of breakup, you use that to boost, and it's killer. And for those of you who want to listen to something like that, watch the Tom Bukovac Rig Rundown. Premier Guitar Rig Rundown with Tom Bukovac. And if those of you who don't know who Tom Bukovac is, he is probably on more records than anyone on the planet. He's a session guitar player in Nashville, and he plays with everybody. And he is one of the best guitar players on the planet, and a cool freaking dude. He's got a new show called Homeschooling on YouTube that he does. It's a 15-minute guitar lesson every day. He talks a lot. He does a little playing. He shows you something very cool, and then he gets off. It's like hit it and quit it. And I'm stuck on watching that guy. I'm looking to get him on my show actually, but he's very hard to get in touch with, but very cool. And check him out, Tom Bukovac.
Nice. And welcome Six String Stanger and Boldini as well. Welcome both of you. We got 80 people watching. Wow. Yes. There you go, Steve.
We want 100. Come on. Yeah.
So what do you got in your hands now?
So it doesn't have strings on it. It doesn't actually have the bridge, because this is a Music Yo Kramer 1984, it's called. So the Floyd that was on this is on Caleb Rappaport's 5150 build. So if you ever see Nerd Halen live at the Whiskey or wherever you see Nerd Halen on California on the West Coast, the Floyd that was in here is on his 5150. So the idea with this was, okay, finally there's a banana headstock that looks pretty close to like this whole setup. Oh wow, I'm gonna be able to paint a Kramer 5150 with this thing. And I just never really got around to it. And then all of a sudden there was Johnny Beane and Dave Nesdell and Rob Johnson, and then I started buying bodies and necks, and that's what I do now.
Yeah, you're like, screw it, I'm doing it from scratch.
Yeah, they really changed my life as far as that stuff goes. So anyway, this guy's still sitting around. I'll probably put like an 84 Floyd reissue on this thing, because everything's kind of 1984 on this. Even the neck plate says Kramer 1984. Nice. They came
LPD pedals. Have a good one, buddy. I'll text you tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Yeah. And I guess again, back to the neck issue, I'd say with this, the back feels okay. Not as thick as a Charvel, and definitely the fretboard on the front is kind of flat, more flat than a Fender Strat. A Fender Strat, to me, the front, the ones that I have, even on the fingerboard, it's just slightly, like not flat, just maybe slightly rounded a bit. just slightly. There's just something about the Fender Strat necks that I like, and definitely Charvel necks. They just not flat. But anyway, yeah, that's the story.
We got JJ's House of Jams joining us.
Hey, JJ.
Whoa, JJ.
Hey!
Speaking of wild men.
You've been to the House of Jams, have you not?
I've been to 2 houses of jams because he moved in the last year. So
Wow.
yes. But ironically enough, he set up the new House of Jams so much like his old one, you barely even notice it on camera.
Very cool. He's got some cool guitars.
Yes, he does.
Really cool.
Oh,
guitars. Hey, Terry, it's GG&G. How are you?
Yeah, good
Hey,
to see
Terry.
you in here. So I guess you're up next, Dave.
Switch 581, what's up?
So the next guitar I'm going to show, when I was 16 years old, my mom would drop me off at the local Sam Ash, and she'd go shopping on a Saturday. She'd go shopping across the street at the local A&S.
How cool is
And
that?
for those of you who don't know what A&S is, it was Abraham and Strauss.
Yeah.
So I would be the 16-year-old kid, and I was quiet. I wasn't a loudmouth. I wasn't a troublemaker. And she dropped me off at Sam Ash, and the guys would stick me in the corner where the big rack was, because in '86, everything was all about rack gear, So they let me play a guitar nice and quietly, put me in the rack, and I'd be playing all day. And one day she dropped me off, and I looked up where the guitars were behind the counter, and there was this beautiful Kramer with this Statue of Liberty and firework graphic on it. And I asked if I could play that, and they were like, "No, you can't play that. That one's, we don't want any fingerprints or scratches on it." And of course, I understood that. It's a beautiful guitar. So my mom picks me up, later on in the afternoon, and I said, "Mom, is it all right if we come back next week? Can you come in with me? I want to show you a guitar that's really special. It's so cool. I've never seen something like this before." And she's like, "Yeah, I think I could do that for you." So next Saturday comes, and thank God the guitar was still there. And she took one look at it, and she says, "You need that guitar. You got to have that." So my mom bought it for me. And it was expensive for the time. It was for the time, I think it was like $800 or $900. It was expensive in '86.
A lot of money back then, man.
So I played it. It was my favorite thing in the world. I played it and I was gigging at the time. Those were some of my first gigs. And I was playing them for every rehearsal, playing that guitar, every rehearsal, every gig I played that guitar. And it was the talk of the town. And then I was in my mid-20s, and I decided to sell it for something else. So about 2 months ago or so, my friend, I won't mention his name, but my friend calls me and says, because I had told him about the guitar, that it was one of my childhood guitars.
I know the guitar, man.
He said, I just bought this guitar. I said, "Oh, you lucky son of a bitch, where'd you get it?" He said, "It was on Reverb." And I hit click buy it now, and I was like, "Damn it, must have just missed it," because I check Reverb for guitars every day.
Sure.
So I must have just missed the guitar, and I was bummed. I was like, "Oh, I would love to have that one of those," because there were several of them made. What's his name? Dennis Klein is the guy who did the airbrushing back then, and he still does it, by the way. So there were he did several of these things, and they all slightly different, but he did all, the same graphics. He did like a shitload of different graphics. So a week goes by, and he calls me up and he says, "Guess what I found?" I'm like, "What?" I had no idea. He's like, "I found another one of these guitars. Here's the guy's information. Call him, buy the guitar." I call the guy. We settled on a price. Took a little while to get, because he didn't really want me to use PayPal, blah, blah, blah. I said I can only use PayPal. He was like, "Well, I don't, got to send it this way, and you got to have proof that your address is." I'm like, "Do whatever you want me to do. Tell me what you want me to do. I want the guitar. I have to have the guitar." So anyway, a couple days later, I get the guitar. I open the case, and here was the guitar.
Look at that. Oh my!
But not only is this a guitar like I had when I was 16, but when I opened the tremolo arm, cavity in the case, one of my original red picks with my name was on it. This is my original guitar.
Right back. How kick-ass is that?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's
Reunited.
still very clean.
What are the odds? And look at that thing. That is fucking killer, man.
All right. Apparently,
you don't get those stories. Just never happen. I mean, it was just this guitar is super duper special to me.
All right. Now, I didn't forget Bent Tom. He says, Jesus, I didn't just do an hour of cardio so Ben would not take a shot. I see a trend here. Oh, dear Lord. And then there it is. Knucklehead. I'll double down with Bent Tom for Ben to do a shot. So I got the White Lightning, folks.
White Lightning.
Woo. That's one.
I think they mean the entire thing is a shot, by the way.
Now, what the hell is that stuff? What is that, moonshine?
This is moonshine from North Carolina.
My God, you are something else.
Oh, crap. This is made down by your dad's place down outside of Asheville.
Dave, he's something.
You're a regular goddamn it.
Dave, he's something else tonight. Wait till tomorrow.
Tomorrow he'll be. Never mind.
Well, considering the first time I really got liquored up on moonshine on YouTube was on my birthday in 2018, hanging out with Dave, Johnny, and Jay.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I barely remember that because I had to go live the next day from work because you all dared me. You're like, "There's no way you're going to be not feeling that tomorrow." And I remember that. I was like, "Ooh." That was a rough shift. All right. So I guess I'm next.
Yes, you are.
Wait 1 second. Terry Himes says, I heard that story before, Dave, but never gets old. So glad for you. I've got some that I would love to get back. Oh yeah. Who doesn't? Yeah. We all have guitars that we made mistakes selling or getting rid of, or there's I'll tell stories later. There's 3 guitars in my life that I wish I'd never sold, but I'll never be able to get back. Anyway, sorry about that.
Yes, Ike from Flipside, that was one of them. But yes, so to show off, there we are. This is my 1971 Fender Telecaster.
Wow.
That's been heavily modified at this point. Got rid of the 3 saddle bridge, put on a 6 saddle bridge. Put in a 4-way selector switch, so it has the out of phase. Pickups have been replaced with my signature Telly set. These are called the Vintage Workhorse, which are based off a 53 Telly set. Right down to the cloth around the wiring and, potted. Nice bird's eye on the neck for a Telly. And and I put a brass nut in it too, because why not? Just to be old school. Strap locks too. Other than that,
how long have you had that one, Ben?
This one I got late 2017, I guess.
Oh, really? Wow.
December 2017. Yes. I'd been playing the 67, gigging somewhat, but I didn't want to gig with it anymore because it was my dad's guitar, and for sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
And I was chatting with a cousin of mine who collects Telecasters, and he fell in love with Tellys because of my dad. So he sent me this one, and it needed some work. So we put a bunch of work into it, and now it's become one of my main guitars.
What's the official color name of that one? Is it just yellow or
blonde? It would have been a blonde.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just it's weird.
It's probably actually Olympic white that turned blonde.
You may be right there, Dave, because it hasn't gone to that mustardy butterscotch, right? That the blondes usually do.
Yeah.
And it comes to where it's worn too, especially like up in here. It is very white, but still a lot of paint left. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love it. It's super light. It's a really light guitar.
I may have to show something in a little bit that will knock your socks off since you're talking Tellys.
Nice. I have no problem with that.
You've already knocked our socks off about 4 times, Dave.
Exactly. It's like a horse race. We're up behind trying to catch up.
Yeah, right.
No. Every guitar is cool, especially if there's a story behind it. So it don't matter how old or how expensive a guitar is. If there's a story and a sentimental story to it, that's all that matters.
I think one of the coolest things was when I got this, the case it came in was like a fiberglass flight case that was only sold for, I think, 2 years in the early 70s by Fender Australia. Fender America never sold this particular flight case, but Fender Australia had them for whatever reason. So,
yeah, cool. Michael?
So cool.
El Capitan.
Let's keep the Telecasters going.
There we are.
This
I'll
is
have to change up then.
2016. Another one online. Fender Elite Telecaster with the F-150 as well.
Yes.
And the neck on this thing is just ridiculous. I mean, I like a thinner neck, and this thing is just crazy. Look at the back of that, though. Again,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like the black binding on the side. It looks really smart.
Yeah. Right, that Telly Deluxe, but with the black binding, it really looks slick.
Yeah. Noiseless pickups, N3, Dave, like you said, probably silver.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Blackguard Tellys.
Yeah. I saw this and I was like, I gotta grab this son of a bitch.
You're killing me, Bent Tom.
Yeah, Ben Tom's on fire tonight.
My throat's on fire.
What did he say?
Dave has destroyed my socks. They are in the trash now. Thanks, Nez. Ben, do your shot.
This may be one of the best. Might be one of the best backs of guitar that I have.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Nice piece of ash.
Yep. And even in the curve there, look at that.
The belly cut.
The belly cut. And as you get older, you need that.
I forget who had started. Somebody mentioned it about a month ago. It's been stuck in my head now. They've made it even a shorter term, just the gut cut.
The gut cut.
Is that what they call it? Gut cut now?
Yep.
Love it.
It's got one of those gut cuts.
Very cool.
We have an empty chair. It's gonna
have. Looking forward to this one. He's bringing a few out, so he doesn't have to go as far.
Steve needs a roadie.
I love Steve.
Yeah, Six String Brian says, you would like my 51 reissue Telly custom shop, Dave. Yeah, he's got a heavy relic 51.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's beautiful. All right, what you got, Steve?
So the next guitar, my life. I was a first aid guy and safety officer for a food company out here and out of college. And a friend of mine, his name's Toby Hicks. He's kind of into the, what would you call it? I don't know about death metal, but it was definitely a metal band. I don't know how to categorize that music, right? But anyway, he had a bunch of bodies and guitars made in China, about 300, and had them sent over. So you'll see the name on there, THC. So that's Toby Hicks Company.
Yeah. Sure.
So it was.
Sure, Steve. We know you live in BC, Steve. Come on.
Yeah,
we know what THC stands for.
Yeah. But like at first looking at it, I said, well, what color do you want? I said, well, I don't know. Give me something green, I guess. I had this thing about green guitars for a long time, but you can, I don't know if the glare and everything, it kind of looks black, but there is sort of green streaks in it. I don't know if you can make that out at all.
Yeah, it looks like the deep forest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that way. Otherwise, pickup wise, I don't know. I just said, give me a guitar with double humbuckers, and I don't know what brand they are or anything. Obviously, no Floyd. So I don't have a lot of guitars that are just without a Floyd, but this is one of them. And if someone's building guitars and having them shipped, I'm in. I think it was like $300. This was like 20 years ago.
Why not?
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's the story.
Ben Tom says THC would be my company name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, the company's called THC. It's a deep green, and you're in BC.
Yeah.
Nice.
Damn
Mike
it, Milt.
T. Thank you, Mike T.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Milt. Damn. Mr. Milt, who makes moonshine himself on occasion.
Milt. I thought it said Mike T. Sorry. Milt T.
Milt works at the Caesars Casino in Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, how cool.
Cheers.
Not right now, though.
Not right now, though. No.
Yeah.
No, Milt and I actually met in 1986, I believe, when he worked at my parents' first restaurant we owned.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Oh.
So I guess it's my turn.
Yes, and I'm going for a wine chaser. Jesus.
Okay, so let's stick to the form of Telecasters.
Let's stick with T-shaped objects.
All right. So I worked for Guitar Center for about 10 years. And lots of guitars came in, and and the store would either want to buy it or not. And if the store decided they didn't want to buy it, I felt that ethically I was allowed to say, hey, you know what? I'm interested in that. So a guy came in, and the store was like, no, guitar is too rich for us. They didn't want to spend the money on it. And I said, can I have your phone number, or will you take mine? Can we exchange phone numbers? I just need maybe a week or two, and I think I'd like to buy that guitar. And we settled on a price. So he said, okay. And when I finally got the money up, which took a few weeks, because I made a lot of money at Guitar Center. I was a pretty good salesman. One year I made the store $1 million, and then my yearly salary that year was about $90,000. So I made some money. No more. I got no money now. I just have a bunch of guitars. I got no money. But I bought this beautiful 1953 Telecaster.
Oh, yeah, I love that guitar. God damn.
And notice that this is one of the Telecasters where the truss rod cork, as you would call it, is
right.
not. It's not walnut. Not walnut. It's not walnut. It's maple. It's
right.
Maple cork.
Wow.
Yeah. The only thing changed on this, of course, is the nut and the refret and the saddle. The saddles, I put compensated saddles on it.
Sure.
But the original saddles are sitting in the original poodle case that I have in the closet.
Nice.
Yeah. So, let's show the back of this guitar.
Wow.
All
All right. So, since Dave has an actual 53, if and when I ever make it down to Long Island, Dave, I'll have to bring the 71 because my pickups are designed off a set of 53s.
Yeah.
So to do a side by side, I'd be curious to see how close Travis got it.
Sure. Well, this is basically it's a flat pole piece pickup. It's like a broadcaster pickup. This one's actually 10K, and this is nickel over brass. Beautiful, just a beautiful sounding guitar.
It's the way that resonates, man.
Yeah. All this is real wear on there. That's not relic.
Yep.
What year do you figure you got that one, Dave?
I'm thinking it was somewhere 2006 or 2007, around there.
How about the fret? Have you had a fret job done on it?
Yeah, this is new fret. This is new frets. Again, I know it's worth to keep. It's for collectible sake. The original, the more original a guitar is, the better it is. Yeah. But I play these things. I gigged with this guitar. It needs to be in working order, or else I can't own a guitar that's not in working order. So I refretted it with slightly larger frets, not the jumbos, but I would say these are 6150s, which is tall and thin. So they kind of still look like the original vintage frets, but a little taller.
Right. In worst case scenario, after a couple recrowns, they'd be down to vintage size anyways, right?
Right, and that's a bone nut.
Nice.
It's just basically That's basically it. The harness is unmolested. Everything in here is unmolested. This is the original cap. These things get stolen and lost all the time. That's the original cap.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Those are one of the first things usually to pop off the damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that in the ashtray.
Well, let me reiterate. This is original to 1953. Whether it's the one that came with this guitar or not, I have no idea. Who would know?
Right.
But that is circa 1953, that cap.
Nice. And I want to welcome, we got Joe Hickey tuning in. So between Joe Hickey and JJ's House of Jams, that's half of the band Stonehill tuned in. That's awesome.
Cool.
Which, if you're into Alice in Chains or Soundgarden or any kind of a jam, doomy, gloomy stuff, check out Stonehill. It's amazing stuff.
That sounds awesome.
It's good music.
Oh, it's amazing. I got to sit in on one of their band practices during NAMM.
Oh,
and
shit, man.
I was in love, yeah. Yeah, and also it doesn't hurt they got Josh Paskowitz singing for them, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's my turn now.
Yep.
And since I saw somebody had asked to see it earlier, this would be my 67 Telly.
Whoa.
If and when I ever leave this earth, there will be a steel cage match between Michael Smith and my sister over this guitar.
And she'll probably kick my ass, so it's her.
Yeah, so Dad bought this new $300 Canadian.
Wow.
So yeah,
$300.
$300 Canadian with a case.
Your dad's amazing.
Yeah, he is. He's a pretty good guy.
That's about $180 real money.
Yeah. Let's see. I think it's been refretted once. It's on its third nut, third set of pickups, which it now has the EMGs, which is because Dad played this directly into a Fender amp at stage volume, and he was sick of ground hum. So that's why he went with these newfangled active pickups he had heard about. So he crossed the border, drove over to Syracuse, New York, bought the pickups, brought them back to have them installed locally in, I think, 1985.
So let me ask a question. Is there a route under that pick guard for the battery?
No.
Thank God.
Battery fits under the control cover. There's just enough room.
That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
I love that was bought new. That's what I like about that one.
Yeah. And the funny part is when Dad bought it, of course, in the late 60s, there wasn't as many setup guys and stuff like that. But he was telling me that when he was in the store and he bought it, one of his buddies that did setups was in there, and Dad had played a few of his guitars and really liked the way they played. So he literally bought the guitar, paid for it, and gave it to the other guy and said, "Here, put your setup on it and call me when it's ready."
So that's a 67, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so I think I may have told this to you before, but people in the chat may not know this. Since 1949, since the first Telecaster, till today, 1967 has had the least amount of Tellys made that year.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dave? Why is that, Dave?
I don't know, and I don't know why I know that fact. I
think they made a lot of 66s, and that's why. And for whatever reason, they just didn't sell as much.
I just happened to someone from Fender once told me that, and that's the only reason I know it. I would never have known that.
And I found out when I had Pete Thorne on, 67 was also the last year they used nitro paint.
Correct.
Wow. Has that one been refretted, Ben?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it could use another refret too, because there's no fret height. Like even when you get it refretted, they grind the frets down almost flat.
So you've played that.
I wonder why they would do that. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, but the weird part is because I got used to playing this as my first guitar, I need to have like minimal fret height for me. That's the most comfortable for me.
Wow.
So, like that's why a lot of guys might not buy a guitar. Oh, the frets are shot. I'm like, there's enough for me. I can recrown that. I'm good.
So you've played the heck out of that guitar, Ben.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, literally, Dad stopped gigging around 86, 87. it sat in its case until I started playing a couple years later. It never left the house. And then when I joined a classic rock cover band, I needed a Telly. So I started gigging with this thing. And the nice thing was people were like, oh, nice cool vibe or a nice, relic reissue. And I'm like, hey, if that's what you want to believe, if you want to believe it's a import $500, cool vibes or pawn shop series, that's fine.
Just gonna say this, just to how many people watch that on stage and were like, guitar.
Mark Taft, who's in the chat here, he does all my roadie work. If I went outside for a vape between sets, he would sit next to it on stage. It never left his eyesight.
It's something similar. I would take my 59 Les Paul out.
Yeah.
Sure.
And between sets, I would put it back in the gig bag in my Reunion Blues leather gig bag and throw it on my back while between sets. So it's always with me.
Perfect.
Yeah. And people are like, why? Why do you gig with a real 59? I'm like, well, because I take care of it.
Sure.
Yep. And you're always gonna have some asshole out there looking to rip you off. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. But I think the funniest thing is now people just assume, oh, you wouldn't be gigging with something real. It's got to be a reissue or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's all right.
Reissue.
Joe Hickey was asking if anyone's put a PAF in the neck of a Telly.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Keith Richards, Joe Bonamassa, a lot of guys have PAFs or patent numbers, mostly PAFs. And, is it sacrilege on a untouched 53, 52, 51, no caster or broadcaster? Yeah. If it's in collector condition, that's sacrilege. But, a guitar is really, guitars that are player grade and, have some things done to it. Why not? The humbuckers sound way better than that little lipstick neck pickup. It really did.
Yeah.
They're more versatile. They sound better, and they look cool as shit.
Yeah, I will agree. Yes, except for there's a few things where I do like that glassiness of the neck Telly pickup. A handful of things, and then most time, honestly, that's me trying to emulate my dad because he rode the neck pickup mainly on his Tellys for years because he was strictly rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dave Nesdall, Bent Tom has a question for you there about.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to show that guitar, but I will tell the story about that guitar in a few minutes. So Bent Tom, please just stand by, and I will tell the story. But I won't give serial numbers, and I don't really want to show the guitar.
Yeah, don't.
But anyway, Michael, is it your turn?
Yes.
It is. And I'm going to get off the Tellys and jump right into the EVHs.
All right.
And I have a Japanese Wolfgang special here.
Oh, wow. When did you get that?
Oh, I've had this before, Dave. You didn't see this?
I don't remember. No, that's a cool-ass guitar, man.
What year, Michael Smith, is that one?
Say again?
What year is that one? Do you know?
This one is, shit.
Just look at the neck plate. It might have the first couple numbers.
I'm thinking that's a 2009.
What's the serial number on that? Yeah.
It's going to be on the side of the headstock, one of the sides of the
I
headstock.
always get mixed up with this one, with the side of the headstock. There it is.
Hey, we got Vintage Sounds in the chat.
Hey, Vintage Sounds.
Now I have my glasses on. I can't see. Which means
They're very hard to see. It's embossed.
Yeah.
It's very hard
blind
to see.
as a fucking bat.
Mark Taft says, yep, that's true, Ben Coombs. I've watched over several pieces of expensive equipment in some very shady places. Oh, yeah. I used to play the best places, eh, Mark?
I have to look this. I can't even see the fucking thing, man.
I'm telling you, it's either 2009 or 2010.
Nice.
And I believe Dave.
17. It's the last numbers, right?
Well, it'll be the first couple numbers.
I don't think that guitar was made in 2017.
W610, I think. 3217J.
Brendan Buttcheek says, I remember Michael unboxing that on Johnny's show, I think about a year or so ago.
Oh, I did. That's right.
Yeah. That one looks smart again with that black binding on the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
It
it
does.
is.
It looks
You see
good.
it?
Oh,
Kind of.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yep. It's cool.
Screen.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's a 2010 or 2009.
10,
Somewhere.
WG10.
Yeah.
It's a 10 then.
Yeah, 2010.
Okay. Mystery solved.
Yep.
So yeah, this is an awesome guitar, man.
It really is. Those were great. They're just every bit as good as the American one.
Yeah, and the binding on this, it's the color.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Sorry, I always ask this because I'm always interested. What's the official color of that one? Is it blonde or
That's ivory?
ivory? Right.
Cool. My Steve, your turn.
Oh.
Michael, great guitar, man. And Ben,
Yeah.
those two Tellys, forget it. You win.
Thanks, man.
I thought you saw this guitar before, Dave.
No, I don't remember. You know what? I may have. I just I don't remember everything.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It just sounds is asking if he can play your guitar, Michael. He's like, "Can I play it?"
Yeah, 100%. Come on over. I'll send you the coordinates.
We got 72 people still watching here. So, and I see a few comments saying how they're loving seeing this many guitars. I think we've already got the better part of 20 guitars in. So.
Chaos.
That's right. What do you got there?
Okay, guys. So this is a Sammy Hagar Washburn.
Look out.
Guitar. It's a little bit special. There's only 75 red and 75 yellow made. And I have one of each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that a smaller body, Steve? It looks awfully small.
Yeah, it's dinky.
Yeah, it's kind of small, the body.
Okay.
It's got 22 frets, but the trick with this is down here at the 17th fret, it's officially called like the Cabo Wabo guitar.
Nice.
And, the first time I went to the Cabo Wabo was May of 1993. So that would have been the 3rd anniversary of the Cabo Wabo, and I've been going ever since. Many times. I was actually at Sammy Hagar's birthday bash last October at the Cabo Wabo, so it's still up and running, and I had a good time. And so this is there's a red one and a yellow one, so we kind of call it ketchup and mustard. I'll show you the yellow one. Hold on.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, that's a nice yellow too.
Yeah, here's the yellow one. And just some of these guitars, it's just for the collection. Like I don't even play these really. I got like 5 main electrics I basically play, and a whole bunch of these I don't even play. But it's just through the years, 30-something years playing, right? It's like
Sure.
they're just there. I just get some money together and say, oh yeah, I'll get one of those. Oh yeah, man, I'll get one of those. So
Yeah, we got Fender Guru and Islander Winder joining in too. Nice.
Fender Guru has I won't say what he has.
Well, he's got it. And he's blaming you, I think.
Mm-mm.
Well, awesome stuff.
Yes.
But again, sort of, I'll get into another brand later. But Washburn, I mean, I never had touched a Washburn before. I don't even think out here in Victoria at Ben's favorite store, Long and McQuaid.
Eagle Empire.
Yeah, right. The Evil Empire, right?
Hey, Fender Guru, how are you?
I would honestly say I don't even think they've ever had a Washburn, like a new Washburn, hanging on the rack that I've ever seen out here. So again, I mean, just collection-wise, I just said I'm getting one. I'm getting a couple. I don't care.
It seems like the only Washburns I ever see are like your $200 entry level, little student guitars. If I ever see a Washburn, or it's a single N4 at a high-end store.
Yeah, the N4s or the 4N, which is his newest N4,
Which is
the 4N signified a fan of his that gave him the guitar, and he feels that it's so special that a fan of his gave him one of his own guitars that he named it 4N.
Oh, nice.
For Nuno instead of N4. So and then his new Telecaster that came out this year. I'm really looking forward to that. I'd love to see one of those. Yeah, I'd love to see one.
I got to play it at NAMM, and it was literally a last minute thing. We were leaving, and I wasn't coming back the next day. And I was with Mike Bradley, and he has a deal with Washburn. So he's like, "Did you check out the new Nuno guitar?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Come here." And so he pulled me over and checked it out. And yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome. And see you, Milt. Have a good one, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, and Milt, if you're still here, I saw it earlier. He said he made a batch of strawberry moonshine. I would like a jar, please. Thank you.
Holy crap.
That could be trouble. Strawberry moonshine.
Oh, that stuff. Oh, it's so good. It's like strawberry jam, but you don't remember your name after the third sip.
Yeah. Vintage sounds. Thank you for the belated birthday wish. I appreciate it. I just celebrated my 50th birthday last Sunday, a week ago today. So yeah, I'm an old man. I'm an old fart.
With a shout out from Pete Thorne.
Oh yes, that reminds me. I got to talk to you after this about him. So
for sure. Yeah, that would, honestly, I had texted him during the show because you had mentioned it in the chat, right? And then I texted him during the show, and he was so far behind and stuff. He didn't see the text till we got off air, and he's like, "Oh crap, I missed that. I'll do a post about it or something." And I was just like,
"Yeah, it was nice of him to do that."
Whatever. And I thought, well, maybe he'll find you on Facebook and write on your wall, happy birthday. But for him to actually do that dedicated post, I was just like,
on his wall, which is amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So the next guitar I have for two reasons. First reason, I'm a really big Angus Young fan.
Nice.
And I love AC/DC.
Yeah.
Second reason is because these guitars sound like Les Pauls without the woofy bass that a Les Paul has. I mean, this guitar is basically mid-range and some highs, and for recording, and it's a little bit cooler and a little bit better. It sits in the mix just a little bit better than the Les Paul, and for live, it's lighter. I think it's cool as shit. And here it is. It's a Historic Collection Custom Shop 61 SG.
Damn.
It's actually called the 61 Les Paul SG.
Right.
And it's just another great guitar.
Wow.
Very lightweight, mahogany, beautiful guitar. Sounds great.
Right.
And it's, like I said, it sounds every good as a Les Paul, every bit as good. It's got the mid-range. It just doesn't have that woofy bass.
Right.
Which can get in the way sometimes in the mix.
Six String Brian was asking, how big is the neck on that?
It's a slim taper. I mean,
much neck dive on that?
Well, it's a vintage reissue. So what you need to know across the board, every vintage reissue, every custom shop guitar, the neck is going to be slightly bigger than its vintage, whatever it's supposed to be a reissue of. So a real 61 SG is going to have a vibrola on it, a tremolo, and it's going to be much thinner, more like an Ibanez.
Yes.
This one's a bit thicker, but still on the thin side as far as reissues go. It's very comfortable. Very comfortable. I'm glad it's not like an Ibanez, although I love Ibanez guitars and I play them all the time. But to get them on a vintage piece, it's just they're a little wonky. But the neck never moves. It's just perfect. Perfect guitar. Yes, it's a VOS, Vintage Sounds. Yes. And this is I want to say this is a 2018.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar.
When did you get that one, Dave?
Just after I got out of rehab, I'd say late January. No, late January. Late January.
Mayhem's asking if it's a single piece of wood or two piece.
It's one piece.
So I thought.
Nice.
One piece mahogany.
Show the back of it, Dave. Look at that. Oh, yeah.
It's sick.
And it's clean.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth? Very nice.
Thank you.
All right. Padded pedal room had asked Ben, any Strats in the collection? Why, yes. I have one right here.
Nice.
This would be my 1989, Steve, 89 US Strat.
Oh yeah, man, I got one too coming up.
I know you do. This thing I bought used in 1991. The only thing wrong with it was missing one of the tone knobs. So this one is a different color because it's a cheaper one. Other than that, I had heard about these locking tuners that Eric Clapton had started using. And so I bought the locking tuners around 1993, right after he had started using them. Local shop had heard about them and just brought in a set just for the hell of it to see if anybody would be interested. And I was like, yes, please. And then, this thing, it's had a few different pickups in it, but right now it's still got the original stock pickups back in it.
Wow.
We used to have a mini, one of the first Duncan mini humbuckers in this thing. I bought in 1992 or 1993. Yeah. Bought a mini humbucker, put it in there. I was okay with it.
Funny you mentioned
Mayhem's like, I tried to get Ben to sell me that guitar. Yes, you did.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that guitar, Ben, when you showed it, it reminded me of Eric Clapton, early 90s. He had that record called Journeyman. I think.
Yep, Clapton played the same thing, except his had lace sensors. That was the only difference.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yep. Actually, I named this guitar Eric after him.
Yeah, cool. I really liked that album he did, that Journeyman one. Yeah, that
was a good album.
It's a great record.
Is that a powder blue?
No, it's weird. In some lights it looks gray, it looks pewter, it looks blue. It all depends on the light.
Yeah, it's pewter.
Yeah, nice. And I do actually have a set of lace sensors. We had one of the subscribers was nice enough to send in. He says, "Here's a set of lace sensors with all the controls. Give them a home." So then I got a spare pick guard. So I thought, why not load the lace sensors into a pick guard, throw it in, and have a Clapton clone?
Yeah. He had that song "Pretending" on that.
Yes.
Album. Yeah,
I love the solo in that song, man.
Yeah, it's the tone of his guitar. The tone of his guitar playing, or just the sound on that record. That's my favorite Eric Clapton that I've ever heard. I think.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
I know you will.
That's like, to me, that's close to like the holy grail of certain different tones. That album, holy
he's using a Soldano SLO 100 on that record.
There it is.
That whole tour, 90, 91, he was using SLOs. He would have two of them on stage with him.
Yeah, Ben Tom just mentioned that himself. Yeah.
Yep, Ben just said it. There you go.
Right. And then again, Steve, that's right when we were getting into guitar and stuff. So, everyone remembers, Clapton for playing Blackie and stuff. But for me, it was playing one of these.
Yeah.
I see him live all the time playing as one of these.
The very first two that he had, the red one and the very first pewter one that he had back in, I want to say, 86 and 87, only had 21 frets on it. After that, he was like, make me guitars with 22 frets.
Good night, Fruitcake Tony.
Yeah, see you, Fruitcake Tony. Thanks
for
tuning in.
Whose turn? Michael?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to jump over to the Ernie Ball side.
Why not?
And this is one of my favorite guitars. Ernie Ball at Albert Lee.
Tying in with the first guitar you showed off.
Exactly. The shape of this. Because I told whoever said that in the chat room, I'm, me being the I didn't put one and one together. And yeah, look at that backplate there, man.
Now that's blue, that guitar?
I'm sorry?
Is that blue, that color?
No, it's not blue.
I can't see the color.
Oh, really?
Is it red?
Is it red?
Yeah,
because it's kind of like, it's a dark color and your room is a little dark.
Yeah.
Oh. How about that?
Now I see it. Yeah, now I see it's red.
Gorgeous.
It's not red. It's actually brown, man.
Is it brown?
Yes.
I was thinking almost like brandy wine.
Yeah. Bingo. Brandy wine. Who said that? Dave, is that you?
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding,
No,
ding,
it was Ben. Ben.
Yeah, it's what Ben's drinking. It's what Ben's drinking in his glass.
and this guitar is a one-off for the run. In that, if you look, you can split the coils here, and that was exclusive to Guitar Center, Dave.
Oh, very cool.
Yep. So
Steve, you should probably get one ready.
It has a 5-way switch. You can split the coils. The sounds this thing comes out with is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I love those guitars, especially the ones with the 3 single coils, because the Stratty sound on the 3 single coil ones sound better than Fender for some reason. They just sound better and more bell-like and sweet.
Yeah. And when you split these, though, Dave, you kind of can get that tone.
Oh, that's cool. No, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Steve,
Mike's wrapping up talking about his, and Steve's relicking the next one.
He's like, "Hello, get out of my way."
At least I know it was a worthy knock.
Was that a Santa Fe?
Yeah, this is a Takamine. Let me just look at the label inside. Yeah, that's Santa Fe in there. Dave got it. You can't get anything. Nez says you can't get anything by him.
Those are great guitars. That's an expensive Takamine.
Yeah, I just got to a point, guys. The guys I still jam with, it was, 15 years ago or so. One guy's playing. There's 3 guitar players. One guy's playing a Les Paul, like a Black Beauty, like a 78 Black Beauty. Another guy's playing a Telecaster, and I sat back and watched the band, and I got invited to jam with them. And I said, well, I want to bring a different color to the sound. They had a drummer and a bass, and the Les Paul, the Telecaster. And I said, well, okay, I'm gonna bring an acoustic guitar into this situation. That's what the sound needed. I just sat there and watched them, and I said, it needs another color. Eventually I did jam with a Fender Strat with them and Charvels and stuff eventually. But at the time I was like, okay, that's it, man. I'm getting a pretty decent sounding acoustic. It does plug in. Here's all the controls up here. And so yeah, it's a great playing guitar. I like it. And just at the time, that was the inspiration for getting it. And I still play this guitar with those guys live. If I'm going to sit down, and we take turns at the shows we do, where each guy does 2 songs, like vocals, and I have to sing in the low register. I can't sing high, so I'm singing sort of in the lower register with my acoustic, and then the next guy does 2 songs that he wants to do, and the next guy, and the bass player does 2, and then we sort of rotate that way. So it mixes it up really good, and just have a real good arsenal of songs to do, and that people. It's one thing to have the songs, but you got to play songs that people like, especially when there's, females in the crowd. You got to play stuff that sort of, can cover the guys and the gals and songs that people like to hear. So
can you play Brown Eyed Girl?
Yeah, right. So anyway.
I can, but I won't.
I have nothing to say about, bad to say about Takamine acoustic guitars.
There we are.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
All right, you're up, Dave.
So the next guitar I have here, I have a friend that I went to high school with. We didn't talk too much in high school, different clique or whatever, and he was a very shy guy. And we probably haven't spoken until, I don't know, maybe November of this year. We got in touch with each other, and he started bringing guitars over for me to fix. So he brought this guitar. He says, "You mind fixing this guitar for me and setting it up and maybe, see what it needs?" And I said, "Sure." So he opens the case and I look at it. I'm like, "Oh my God." It was like it was an instant hard.
Well said, Mike.
Instant hard on guitar. So I looked at it. I said, "Well, the tuning pegs are they're basically rotting away. So I'm going to need to put new tuning pegs on it. But lucky for you, I don't have to change the holes. I don't have to make them bigger. They make direct replacements for this guitar, and you wouldn't know the difference. Same exact screw holes, everything." It was like great, and it needed to set up and just to be clean. So so I did it, and I said, "If you ever sell this guitar, please give me first right of refusal." And he's like, "Well, I don't think I'm ever going to sell it, but you can, if you want, you can hold on to it for a few months or whatever." I said, no. I just did a setup. I just put new stuff on it. I want you to have it and enjoy it. Take it home and enjoy it. Play the shit out of it. And when you get sick of playing it, and it just sits on a stand, and you're like, "When you're playing your other guitars." Then, if you'd like me to borrow the guitar, I'd be happy to borrow the guitar. So since then, I've pretty much had this guitar, and he is in no rush to get it back. He was like, "Dave, just consider it like permanent loan. If I ever want it back, I'll take it back." And it's my 1962 SG Les Paul Jr.
Oh, nice.
It's an all original. It is in tip-top condition.
Wow.
It is one of the best guitars in the house. It still has red on the back. It still has a lot of red on the front. It's not brown yet.
Right.
That P90 is crazy good.
It looks like there's lots of is it stains that are on the body under the bridge there, Dave? What is that? Marks? What are those markings?
There's really no markings. It's just age. There's a lot of weather checking on it. Maybe some watermarks, but just, and a lot of dings and scratches.
Got it.
Like that.
Now I'm curious to see if there's Marsman. I was going to say, Marsman brought out one of those for me to play last year.
It actually says Les Paul on it. And in 63, they stopped saying Les Paul.
Right.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah. And another crazy good ringing guitar.
Yeah. What year is yours, Marsman? I see him in the chat because he's like, whoa, 62.
So it's 66, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he brought it out. I met up with Marsman outside a Guitar Center. And him, Aaron Lee from Albus Band, and myself, we met up, and he brought out a couple guitars for us to check out. And one of them was his Junior. And I was just like, whoa, this is nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He had 66 with a Vibrola.
This is crazy. Yeah. These things are all just, and you would think they're one-trick ponies. If you know how to use this volume and this tone knob, there are millions of sounds under the sun. Just straight in, plugged into an amplifier, you can get any tone you want.
It's one of those magical spots right there. They got it right.
Yeah. It's just a crazy good guitar, and it's very reminiscent of the very first guitar I ever owned, being one P90 and a wraparound bridge.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, carrying on where the captain had teased, and I had teased a bit, let's show another Wolfgang-shaped object.
Whoa.
This would be my Made in Japan Wolfgang Special. So it's got the stainless steel vintage size frets, so nice super small frets, which I love. It is a hardtail because I already got the wiggle stick on the Kramer back there, so I don't need a wiggle stick on this. And,
You said wiggle stick.
I did say wiggle stick. And and unlike Johnny Beane, I am not lacking for grommets. So
Quite the impressive top on that one. I like how yellow it is.
yeah.
It's not like it's not like a standard tobacco burst where it's more black on the edges.
Right.
That's more yellow going into the outside. Yeah.
It pushes out, man.
Yeah, it's a very thin.
Yeah. So you said that's a Made in Japan?
Yes, it is.
That's another top of the line great guitar.
Yes, early 2012, because it looked like basically they made them more or less for 1 year, but they just carried over into the 2012 year with the leftover parts.
The binding pops just when you just standing there looking at that.
Yeah.
Just put it straight up, right there. Little way of pops, man.
Yeah.
That is badass.
Yeah, and again, thanks to Dave Nesdall, I sent him photos when I first came across these guitars, and he helped me out with a bunch of info, and they came in for repairs, setups, and then to be moved on to the market. As Dave knows, holding on to this stuff, and then the longer I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? These are coming into my collection.
Very cool.
Yes.
Beautiful, man.
Hey, Blackjack Guitar Nut. Good to see you.
All right, Michael.
Okay, I'm going to switch it out right now. Let's go to PRS.
Uh-oh.
Why not?
Don't get Dave started.
I love this guitar. It's a floating guitar, floating bridge, I should say. I don't know if you can see the color. It's a 2008.
That finish looks very deep.
It is. It really is.
You said that bridge is floating. It looks pretty flat on the body to me.
No, it's close to the body, but it's floating.
Yeah, it floats.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a custom 24 CE, yes?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you had that, Michael?
I bought it. I've had this about 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when I bought it, I was in Queens, Dave, at a guitar center, and they had a promo going on, trying to sell guitars.
Right.
And I went in there, and I was the only guy that bought a guitar from that guy.
Okay.
I felt bad for the guy. I was like, I'm checking it out, whatever, and one of the owners, one of the employees, because there was a rep there, I should say, from PRS. And so he's obviously trying to move guitars and everything. And the guitar center guy's like, well, it's getting near the end. I got off of work, so it's getting near closing time. So I'm trying it out and everything. He's like, give the guy a chance. Let him play it. Let him see if he wants to buy it. So I told the guy, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it. And then we worked on a price, got a price together. And he's like, I said to him, I was like, so how did it go? How many guitars did you sell today? You must sold a lot. He's like, you're the only one I sold it to. You were the only one. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So let me show you this real quick. He gave me this. I think I told you the story before. He gave me a bunch of PRS candy stuff, stickers and whatnot.
Very cool.
Yeah. He also, where is it?
Yeah, Lotus Super Gigawatt.
You say gigolo?
That too.
So while Michael's getting stuff together for that, I'm going to tell a Paul Reed Smith story that you guys will get a kick out of.
And he gave me a tweet on the back signed by him.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. He's like, I was going to hold this for the guy that spent the most on the guitar.
So again, you guys all know I worked at Guitar Center for many years. And I had a lot of high-end, very high-end customers. So I had one high-end customer who wanted a 1951 or 50 no-caster, like a real no-caster, 1951. And he every guitar he had, it was all vintage guitars, but he wanted them as clean as the day they were brand new. So imagine finding a real 51 no-caster. That's
sure.
Of course, yeah. I found one, and it was over 50 grand.
Wow.
And he was like, so you can, and the profit in it was amazing. It was just like, the profit in that guitar, I think it was $25,000 in profit. And at the time, Guitar Center was all about whatever profit they could make. It wasn't the gross sale. It was like all they really cared about was the profit in the instrument. So there was so much profit in the instrument that the guy that wanted that guitar also looked at either a PRS Modern Eagle, something like in the $3,000 range or something. And he was like, well, I'll think about the guitar. He was like, I'll think about the Telly. I mean, over 50 grand, It's like, I'll think about it. I said, I tell you what, you buy that fucking Telecaster and I'll throw in this Paul Reed Smith for free.
Wow.
Because that guitar had so much profit in it, it didn't matter that I gave away that $3,000 guitar. It didn't matter because there was more profit in it than the whole store had made in one day. I made more profit for that store in one day than every salesperson made that whole week. So not only did I sell a 50,000 plus Nocaster and gave away an expensive $3,000 Paul Reed Smith, I then told my boss, "See ya, I'm taking the rest of the day off." And he was like, "No problem. Have a good day."
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That guitar, I told you, I bought it used. That guitar new was upwards of $4,000. It's like $3,500 or whatever it was. I was like, really? Well, whatever.
Yeah.
$50,000 guitar.
And
it was plus 50,000 plus. You know, it was like, I don't remember the exact price, but it was over 50 grand.
And
That's
that's
amazing.
what
Year was that?
And that's
I'm
probably,
sorry?
What year was that?
1951 Nocaster original.
No, I mean when you sold it. What year?
2007 maybe around
I'm just
there.
trying to dig the money worth. You know what I mean? Because that's easy money.
Yeah, 2007 around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve, what were you just asking?
just what Michael said, because $50,000 isn't like 10 years ago isn't the same as $50,000 now. Yeah, just that's a lot of money for 10 years ago even. Yeah.
Well, back then the economy for vintage guitars was a lot higher than it is now. Because just say, you know, like a 1962 Sunburst Stratocaster back then was about $30,000, and you could probably get one for about $15,000 now.
Oh, is that right? Wow. Yeah. Huh. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Half price over a decade.
Pretty much. I mean, it's still going to be super expensive, but the economy is not the way it was for vintage gear as it used to be.
Wow.
Especially not now, man.
Right.
You're up, Steve.
Steve, your turn.
Uh-oh.
Keeping us waiting again.
And just to follow up with True Tech, yeah, there's had to be something up with Pete Thorne's chat. He was saying he couldn't see my comments till near the end. That's very weird. But I don't know. YouTube's been doing some weird stuff. I remember I used to go into a couple of channels and nobody could see me in there, even though I was friends with the guy. It's not like I would have been blocked or anything, but I don't know. But when he had John Sur on, he had 900 people watching today. So I was rather busy moderating the chat.
That's cool. That's something else.
Yeah, they went 3 hours. It was insane. Uh-oh. Hope Quentin James is still here, Steve.
Yeah, where's Quentin James? And so this is, I'm going to say, Dave will correct me, I guess probably 2004, I think, is when the first time I saw an ad for the EVH Charvel Art Series guitars.
Yep. That's it.
And I'd say this is my most expensive guitar. This is probably like $3,300 at the time. So that's what, like 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, $3,300 Canadian.
Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they were about $2,500 American.
Yeah, so yeah, that's about right. So this is serial number 544. So it's a first year one.
Nice.
And I'm not really a detuna guy, so I did put an 84 Floyd on this guy because it's really one of my favorite Floyds is the 84 reissue. I kind of have them on a lot of these EVH guitars actually. This was the time just after this sort of all of a sudden, you know, Andy gave Dimebag Darrell in his coffin the Bumblebee, so it just added more fuel to the fire. I was just like, I gotta have one of these.
Sure.
But yeah, this one always popped for me. Like I was late to the game when it came to Van Halen. I wasn't in there till like 5150 when I was 15 years old. So I was listening to other stuff before that, and I missed out on the first era, to be honest. But when just looking back at the first records, when you flipped over Van Halen 2, and I saw, oh man, look at the black with the yellow. Well, I like that. That it just sort of popped for me. And when you put like the ad, they had 3 of these. There was the white with black stripes, and they had this one, and then they had the red with black and white stripes. This is the one even on the page on the ad that pops for me. I said, oh man, I'm in. And I mentioned this the day before. There's a guy in Las Vegas named Ed Roman. I was going to have him like build me one of these. And then yeah, it was just a few years later, all of a sudden, there's the Charvel EVH Art Series. Oh, wow. I'll just get one of those. I don't have to worry about some guy in Vegas building me a guitar.
Mhm.
But the game.
I'm just going to jump in for a sec. Butt Cheeks is headed out, so if Brendan's still in here, see you, Brendan. Have a good one.
Hey, Brandon,
Later, Brendan.
Yeah,
Which I do believe 1 week from tonight, Brendan Butt Cheeks will be coming on the channel.
there you go.
Nice.
Oh yes, sorry, Steve. Continue.
No, and then like all of a sudden, the last couple of years, the game has changed on this stuff. They're building like a '78 Frankie replica, like 3 different versions, and the Bumblebee, like the way it was back in the day. So they've really kicked it up a notch.
Right.
Yeah. This is kind of a 2-for-1 again, like the Sammy Hagar Cabo Wabo guitar.
This is how he cuts down on his walking, folks.
Yeah. So this one here is actually Dave Nesdall mentioned it. This one here, the first 1,000 of these, this is the red with black and white stripes Charvel EVH Art Series. This is number 831. Actually, Dave was the one that informed me on this actually when I first showed this to him a few years ago. These first 1,000 of these apparently were recalled because you can see the seagulls here are kind of screwed up. And there's lots of black lines under the red that maybe you shouldn't see or should see. The color wasn't quite right, so they recalled them. But I kept mine.
I just realized I can actually see some of the black stripes under the red.
Yeah, so it's I don't know how many guys actually would have one of these. I mean, there was 1,000 made. I'm sure at least half of them guys still have. But I've been digging. I want to know more about these Charvel EVH Art Series guitars and who has them, where they are, and yeah. So that was kind of a cool thing, and I certainly won't give this one up. But again, you know, they've got the Frankie replicas, and I think there's something going on coming up with EVH. Maybe a collaboration with Gibson to actually do like a relic Kramer 5150, like for the usual $25,000. I'm sure something that's going to happen. So all this stuff,
right?
It kind of doesn't mean as much as it did when I first got these, because they've really been stepping up the game. I'm
gonna say here, yeah, Ike from Flipside. Check out Flipside Music, our preferred American retailer. He's got some Frankies coming in as well. And starting in the next week, when you shop at flipside-music.com, you can use coupon code Canucks and save.
Frankie's coming in from our buddy Ike is coming to my house.
That's right.
Because I pre-ordered
cool.
it.
Nice.
That's right.
Very cool.
And if any are left, I'm going to see about getting one myself from them. So
cool.
You're talking about the new EVH.
The EVH Frankies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know the original ones from 2007, Dave? You sold 8 of those apparently?
I sold 8 of them, yeah.
Wow.
You sold 8 of those, Dave? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, those are like the $25,000 ones.
My own. That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Thus, another one of those reasons why I could afford all these guitars. Not anymore, but back then, yeah.
There we go. Comments. Yes, we got one coming for the captain.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Nice. And I saw John here, ZD351 was mentioning about with live streams, not seeing the chats on replay. I just want to throw it out there because having done live streams for a couple of years now, it used to be if you did a 1-hour live stream, it would take about 20 minutes for the video to process, which would then allow you to see the live chat on replay. Mm-hmm. Now it seems like any live stream over half an hour takes a minimum of 12 hours to process.
That's amazing.
That's why you won't see until it's fully processed, which also sucks for those of us that make a living off YouTube, because for me to place ads on a video, I have to wait for the video to finish processing. But with live streams, most people watch it within 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So this is going to be my last guitar of the night because I promised Desiree I'd get off here by 10 o'clock.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to, this one also has a story. Some of you may have heard this story before.
And no, it's not the Paul, folks.
For those of you who haven't heard the story, you'll have a good time with this one. So my buddy Dennis played with Billy Joel, toured with him in 2009. And my buddy Dennis had this Fender Custom Shop Strat I wanted. We both went to the Music Zoo here in New York, and we raced to get to the Music Zoo. And the first guy that got there got to buy the guitar. Of course, Dennis got there first, so he beat me to it. He bought the guitar, and it was an amazing relic Strat with single hum pickups. It was just a super cool guitar. Very resonant, blah, blah, blah. So Dennis used it on the tour. And then when he was done with the tour, he was like, you know what? I don't really want it anymore. Dave, you want to buy it? So I was like, yeah, sure. So I bought it for the amount that he wanted. And I loved it. I played that Strat for a long while. Then for one stupider reason or not, I sold the guitar. And I knew as soon as I sold it that was one that I shouldn't have sold. So I tried getting it back from the person I sold it to. And the person I sold it to said, sure, you can have it, $7,000. And I said, you are smoking something funny. Give me some. I'll take it. I was like, no way. So I was like, you know what? I've got plenty of guys who I know that build great guitars that will build me that guitar for next to nothing. So I went to my friend Matt at 30th Street Guitars in Manhattan. And I said, I have a Strat that I'd like you to build. First of all, can you relic guitars? He was like, yes, we will make it look like a real relic guitar. I said, okay, there's 3 criteria. I want it to be a cross between Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Steve Vai. And I said, the Jimi Hendrix part, I want you to burn it like it was burned, when he would burn a guitar. Number 2, I want white pickups, black pickguard on a sunburst body with a rosewood fretboard. That's the Stevie Ray Vaughan part. And the Steve Vai part is I want single hum with gem wiring. And he said, well, that's odd, but okay, I'll do it if you want. And here it is.
Wow.
This is the guitar that I gigged my last 10 years of gigging with. This was my main gigging guitar for the last 10 years of my gigging life.
Yep.
And it is exactly that. And if you really didn't know it didn't come from Fender, you would think, holy shit, that's a Fender.
Yeah.
But it's not a Fender. This is a custom guitar that was built by a guy that really knows how to build guitars other than me. But that's a joke. But now I build guitars. So, if you wanted something built like this, I could do it. So it's an alder body, maple neck with a rosewood fretboard. This is Brazilian rosewood. They're DiMarzios. These are 36th anniversary humbuckers with a gem single coil. It's got a Tesi Switch, kill switch on it.
Nice.
It's just an amazing sounding guitar. Great guitar, feels great. When I asked for the guitar, I also asked them to take measurements of my Les Paul. So from front to back, it is my Les Paul's neck. Wow. So if you pick this guitar up and then pick my Les Paul up, you would think it was the same guitar. If notwithstanding that it's a Stratocaster. So that's this guitar. And I couldn't live without this guitar. Even though you don't see me playing it all the time, I couldn't live without this guitar. Yeah. So that being said, I need to say goodnight, but I'd like to plug my show for this Thursday, if that's okay with you.
Please do, sir.
All right. So this Thursday night at 8:00, please come to Ned Says, because my guest this week is my good friend Greg Smith. And Greg Smith is the bass player for Ted Nugent. He's been the bass player for Ted Nugent for the last 15 years. Before that, he was with Alice Cooper, and you might have seen him on that little movie, Wayne's World, because he was in Wayne's World.
Oh, nice.
And he also plays for Tommy James and the Shondells.
Nice.
He was also, if you know anything about Long Island bands, he was also in a band called Devious with a guy named John Levin, who is now in Dokken, the guitar player in Dokken. And he is going to be there. So please check out the Dave Nesdahl YouTube channel.
And Terry just posted a link to the channel here in the chat. Thank you, Terry.
Please subscribe, because I've got great guests coming up for the next 2 months.
Yes.
And some of them will actually blow your mind.
And I will just follow up on that for a guy. You've been doing the show about a month now, Dave?
So I have 7 shows under my belt. 7
shows? Okay. Yeah. Well, you came out the box like you had already been on the air somewhere else for 3 years, minimum.
Well, here's the thing. I have to thank Johnny Beane for that because Johnny Beane and I have been doing shows together for 5 years.
Yep.
And he has shown me how to do all this. Yep. And out of the kindness of his heart, he not that he allowed me to do it, but when I said, Johnny, I hope you don't mind, I'd like to start doing my own show. He was like, by all means, I hope you stay with me, but by all means, go do your own show. Just please do it on a night where I don't have one. And I said, sure, I'll pick Thursday nights. No, I don't think anyone really has a show. At least if someone has a show, I apologize, but there are only 7 days. So, right. And I'm sure someone does a show every day, but I picked the day where there's the least amount of traffic. So that's what I did. So thanks to Johnny Beane, I now have my own show, and I still do Johnny Beane's show on Friday nights and some Saturdays. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do, and click that bell, and you'll be notified when and who I have on. And you guys will be surprised. I've got some really nice guests coming on the next 2 months, and I'm working on, like last night at 2 a.m. I'm Facebook messaging like 10 more guys. Hopefully I didn't wake them up, but
I know the feeling, Dave.
It's it's going to be real good. And if you can watch the show, that'd be great. I would really appreciate it.
I highly recommend it, folks. Definitely really cool stuff. And like I say, with the 3 years, yes, part of that was the Johnny Beane thing, but it was, you had that instant rapport with Ty, which is good. Mm-hmm. And you're bringing like great guests right from the start.
Yeah. Well, luckily, because of my musical career and everything I've done in the last 25 years of my life, I've accumulated a lot of celebrity friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can, because I've done for all of them for so many years, I feel that I can ask them and they all say yes to me.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how much freedom they have to do it and when it'll be. Yep. But they all say yes, and they're all really cool, and they're all very approachable. So
definitely,
if you watch the show, chances are you could become very friendly with my celebrity friends.
That's true. And and the thing is, like, we've because we're part of the same community in many ways, we've had a lot of the same guests on. But guess what? Out of 10 questions, you're going to ask 7 different questions than I am. And so, folks, if you see, if you're subscribed to both of us and you're like, oh, well, Dave had this person on and I already saw him with Ben, or vice versa, chances are it's going to be a completely different conversation.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Jump on, and it's going to be, you will definitely learn more about the guests from different hosts. There's no question about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to thank Michael, Steve, and Ben for having me on. And
anytime, brother.
We'll do this again soon. And Ben, you know what? I'm not going to be able to talk to you tonight, but I'll call you tomorrow. And sure, if we can make that thing happen that I asked you, I also want you to be on that show. So please.
Sounds good. Yeah.
See if that can happen. And even if not, there'll be a time where I'll have you on the show anyway. But
I have to touch base with the person after we're done too. Because speaking of which, of West Coast people, right? That's the next thing I can.
Yeah.
Message someone at midnight.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out for the night. I'll hopefully see you Thursday. And if I don't see you Thursday, I'll see you Friday night on Johnny Beane's show. We have Billy Sheehan Friday night.
Ooh, that's right.
And by the way, no excuse. Get on Thursday and Friday show, everybody. No excuse. Get on Dan's show as well.
All right, boys and girls. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, Dave.
See you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
So I guess I'm next now.
All right.
So we are going to...
Oh, let's hear it for Dave, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like Padded Pedal Room's headed out as well. See you, Padded Pedal Room.
He had some killer guitars.
I want to say 3 times real fast when you've had 4 shots of moonshine. All right. So I suppose I should soloify myself. So we are going to show off now my BC Rich Mockingbird.
Whoa.
Now it is a lower end Platinum series, but that's okay because I was able to find it for about 150 bucks Canadian. So why not, right, Steve? For 150 bucks, it looks cool on the wall, if anything else.
Yeah, look at the shape of that thing.
What's up with those pickups, dude? Those look pretty cool.
Well, these are first generation FU tone pickups.
Nice.
I think
there was something special about those.
These Adam released the pickups around April 2018, and you may recall he was running a contest to give away a set of them on social media, like, share, subscribe, whatever. And I happened to have Michael on at the same, or Adam on the same weekend that we're giving them away. And I said, yeah, I shared it. I hope I entered. He goes, well, you can't. We're friends now. How about I just send you a set? Okay. Thank you. Just met you for the first time on my show. Thanks. But so yeah, these are the original first run. So they don't have coil tap. That's the only difference between the modern FU tones and these ones. And they're more or less built similar to a Wolfgang pickup spec, but I don't know. They seem to agree with me a little more.
Really?
And I also see Ike from Flipside's headed out.
Yep. Good.
See, Ike, have a good one, buddy. I'll text you.
All right.
Yes, and believe me, folks, you can still order from Flipside at flipside-music.com. I don't know what the coupon code Canucks will do for you, but it will do something.
He's still up and running, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's still up and running. Like I said, I bought my Frankie EVH from him, and I can't wait to get it. And I'm looking at another pedal. I'll reach out to him after that. So.
Well, I am going to let you know, Mike. He is putting in another order for another batch of Lawrence Petross design pedals. Just saying.
Oh boy!
There we go. Ike just said we'll set that up tomorrow. Perfect. How much was the set of pickups? I do not know. But if you go to fu-tone.com, they are available. So I just don't know what they cost.
Wow. Michael, next guitar. What do you got?
Let me see. Actually, I wanted to have Dave stay on here for this one, but I'm still
Too late.
There.
You're stuck with me, the other Dave. A PV Wolfgang.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that finish.
And I bought this from Johnny Beane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. And Dave Nesdall did the setup on it with FU Tone Magic.
Nice.
So it all comes full circle, man.
It does.
It all comes full circle. And this guitar is freaking killer, man.
Nice.
And Ike says, Michael Smith, you know where to find me.
Yes, I do. So this guitar, Johnny was looking just to get rid of it or whatever, so I bought it. And by the way, look at the binding on this thing.
Yeah.
It's cream binding.
I prefer cream binding over white binding.
Yeah.
I don't like white. White is too new looking, right?
Yeah. The cream, but look at the shine on that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It is arch top by the looks of things.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yep. USA made.
That's one thing I don't have is an arch top with that body shape yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
That's the operative word. Yet.
But the arch top gives it a different tone, honest.
It does. It's more meteor.
Oh, it's more wood.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. On a top like that. And so Johnny was looking to get rid of it. He reached out to me, whatever, and I picked it up. And as Dave would say, Dave got rid of some of Johnny's gunk.
I was going to say, once he cleared off a layer of Johnny's DNA off of it.
Yeah, because it's a bird's eye in the back of this, by the way.
Wow.
Jeez. That almost looks like a spalted maple, eh?
That is sick.
That's ridiculous. It's too many to count.
Yeah.
Unreal. True Tech was asking EVH or any ball? Neither. It's a PV.
Yes, PV. It is PV. And like I said, after Dave got rid of Johnny's DNA, like you said, I should say. But I mean, it's
for decontamination.
Not decontaminate. So that's my next up. Who's up now?
Probably me.
See, Mark Taft comments. He goes, Ben, I'm glad it's you and not me that has the task of returning all those guitars back in their cases. LOL, just joking. I would help put a couple away. No, I have a guitar rack right off camera here. So 10 guitars just sitting there and the rest sit behind me. None of mine sit in cases for the most part. Hey, Crowbar. I know. We haven't done a longer one in a while. But the drinks are flying. I'm feeling good. So why not? You do you. I like that, Trutech. You do you.
We got another 2-for-1 here.
So let's walking.
Yeah. So this is my 1989 Tobacco Burst Fender Strat. 1989. And I've just put, of course, an 84 Floyd on this as well. And I'm actually putting a Seymour Duncan pickup replaced. This is actually a DiMarzio in here, but
right.
I play this guitar a lot. The only problem I have, this is the first Fender Strat I've shown tonight. Just when I play, I always hit this volume knob here. It's just in the wrong spot. Like Charvel's and that, it's kind of a bit lower down.
Yeah.
I don't hit those. So
you know what? I only hit the volume knob if I stand and play a Strat. If I sit and play a Strat, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I've been with my band playing a birthday party. We're playing Roadhouse Blues, and all of a sudden, I'm singing it, and I can't even hear myself. And I'm going, what happened? My amp's on, my pedals are on, and I'm like, I was lost for a second. I don't know what to, okay, I'm just going to sing, and luckily, I got a guy playing a Les Paul and a guy playing a Telecaster. There's still sound, there's still guitar, but I'm out of sync because I usually, when I'm singing, I'm playing guitar as well, and it kind of throws me off. But and I was like, and then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, the volume knob, like the easiest thing to think about, right? But this neck, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's got a little bit of wear in it in here, and just again. Like these necks feel great. They're nice and they got some round in the back on them. And these feel great. I will say though, so the Floyd Rose, like it is screwing from the bottom on the nut. And this is a good one. I've had a lot of people have asked to buy this off me, but sometimes that's a sign to keep it. Wait a minute.
Exactly. And I see Mark's commenting. He says, it looks like we have a bunch of gear to clean once this quarantine's over. Yes, Mark and I get together usually, a couple times a year, and we do a major gear cleaning because God knows I don't keep up on it. And he treats my gear better than I do. So why not, right? Just give him a guitar for half an hour and let him have at it. And he gives it back to me in things like showroom condition. And hello to Sean Zimmerman in the chat.
Oh yeah, Sean. I hope his health is well. I know he always has has health issues. Sorry.
Yes.
So when I'm playing a Fender Strat there, and kind of figured out the volume knob situation and everything, I needed a backup. So before I got into the Charvel's, next this is where I get into my Cherry Burst. This is like a 2016. 2016. And no thumb wheel adjust yet. But this is called Cherry Burst. So here you go, Fender Strat. So the difference is it's not locking from underneath at the nut like the 1981 or 1989 one. And there's something else. Hold on. There's something else about it. Hold on. The 1989 Fender Strat I have, that Tobacco Burst one, is 22 frets, but I don't know what point they went to 21 on this.
Right. I don't know. I'm not too sure on.
Yeah, someone in the chat will probably look it up and chime in.
Yeah, where's Steve from Boston? He knows all the Strat stuff. Jesus.
Yeah. But I know Dave Nesdell was a big fan of this finish. He's seen this guitar before. Yeah, cool.
Awesome. We're still. Oh, there's the captain. I was just about to say, oh, we're waiting on the captain, and then bam, I look up and he's got that perfect.
I had to go find something else.
There we go.
I got a few things here. So this is,
yeah, go ahead, because I'm just looking. I don't really have much else to show at the moment.
I have a few more. This is an Epiphone.
Ooh.
See?
And it's a pre-2020, judging by the headstock.
Yeah. And
is that like an SG special?
If you look at the pickups,
Dirty fingers.
Dirty finger pickups. Yeah. SG. Look, and if you look, everything's gold.
Right. And I was gonna say it's a special because it's only got 2 knobs.
Yeah.
And no pickguard.
Yep. It is called the
Prophecy. Okay.
Yep, the Prophecy. Kind of based off of
wow, bound neck too, eh?
Say again?
It's got a bound neck.
Yes.
Which is weird, because you don't see any binding on the body, but they bind the neck.
No, this was one of the top of the line when I bought it.
Yeah.
As Epiphone goes. You got made in China.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pretty damn good
satin finish on the back of the neck, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not all sticky and grabby on the neck.
No, not at all.
How's the balance on that one?
Really good, actually. You'd be surprised. And split coil.
Ooh.
and also it's all gold accents too,
Yeah. Crowbar's like, where's Guitar Hack? He loves gold hardware. Good question.
Exactly.
So Tom says I'm all sticky and grabby.
And look at the finish. Pretty damn good, man.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of wood too.
Yeah.
And I don't care, they call it, even if it's a veneer, it's still a piece of actual wood.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So this is something that I don't take out usually, but pretty cool, man.
All right. I might as well show one off.
There we go. This is 08, by the way, in case anybody cares.
Nice. All right. I'm going to show off.
Hold on.
Talent.
My talent, Les Paul Jr.
Wow.
Why? Because I bought it for $60 at a pawn shop because they retail for a little over 100, but it has the prototype Canuck Bucker pickup in it.
Wow.
Which is basically a DiMarzio super distortion.
Wow.
So like a 8.4, 8.5 output instead of your 7.5, and hand wired in Victoria, British Columbia, on the southern tip of Vancouver Island.
Here it is. How's the neck on that one, Ben, feel wise? What does it feel like to you?
Small, super small.
Okay, I gotta add. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Actually, it feels it's a little bit narrower than my Kramer neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. Can you plug that in? I want to hear it.
Sure.
No, I'm serious. Think about it. The pickup to a really, not expensive guitar.
Tesi Switch in the house.
All right. Rob from Tesi Switch in the house.
What's up there, Rob?
I was talking with Rob yesterday.
Nice. Ben's tuning. I'm grabbing another guitar.
Yeah. Let's turn off the chorus pedal. Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. So that's your clean tone, Fender amp. And then I underwind. I was talking about the original ones that were just slightly overwound. your 8.5 out of the 70s one. So yeah.
Nice. Now again, the pickup. How much is the guitar? What'd you pay for it?
$60 used.
$60 with a good pickup.
That's all you need.
There you go.
Does anybody want a sound preview of an unreleased prototype pedal? I'll take that as a yes, Mike. So that's playing through the Fender Blues Deluxe, pretty generic Fender clean sound, we'll say.
What do you want? 12 o'clock on a Fender, I'm guessing?
Pretty much. How bright and chimey is that?
Nice.
Do you recognize that kind of British amp sound, Mike?
I'm going to guess it has 3 letters.
2 letters and 2 numbers.
I was going to go Vox.
Well, yes, that would be the company name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it some overdrive.
Little Queen.
Yeah, so expect a new release from Lawrence Petross Design. I'm just saying. I don't see him in the chat to defend himself. So you folks didn't just hear the hayseed for the first time ever.
AC30, there you go.
Yeah. So keep an eye open for the hayseed.
Nice hayseed. I like it.
I think I put in about 10 hours on that pedal since I received it on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Ben, it looks like you got some donation here from Martin, who says he's from Victoria.
Oh, snap.
Snap.
Martin C. in the house. For your endurance. Hi, they're from Victoria. Yes, also known as I am happy. I am happy. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might be able to afford another bottle of wine or two after tonight. Jeez.
I think so.
Rob from Tesi says, I was going to ask Ben that sounds like on the bridge pickup, but that's all there is. But yeah. So hopefully that pedal will be released next month, we're hoping.
Wow. Thanks.
So doing some beta testing on it, giving Lawrence some feedback. So but there we go. The one problem, Steve, is I don't have the best memory in the world. Try dialing in a pedal that looks like that.
Oh my God. What does it do?
It's got knobs.
There's knobs.
It texted me the layout on it, and then I somehow lost the text. So then I'm just playing with, well, this sounds like a tone knob. This sounds like it's a bass knob.
It's the ultimate test.
Yeah. But it's the best way to go into it. Go into it completely blind.
I just came back from getting another guitar, and I'm playing with it and knobs. And that's the best I can do. Okay, well, this is pretty cool.
All right, so who's up next?
With knobs.
Who do we got up next, anyways?
I think it's probably Michael.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Uh-oh. We're calling that the star guitar, are we?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Which has always had a soft spot for me.
Yeah. This neck is wicked fast.
Why is that, Ben? Why does it have a soft spot for you?
Because it's a badass shape. It's kind of that explorer shape. It's got stripes. It's got a different neck than would have originally come on it. So
exactly. I mean, just look at that thing.
The only thing I don't like is you can't hang those guitars up.
You know what? There's your screenshot right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with EVH on the top.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Badass. EVHD tuner in it.
Have you ever played with that standing up, Michael?
Say again?
Have you ever played with that standing up, like with a guitar strap?
Actually, no, I haven't. I usually just play sitting down, to be honest with you.
Looks like Vance Hicks is headed out. See you, Vance.
Via Vance.
So that's my next one.
Nice.
Very nice. Suppose I could take you off solo layout. Bam.
This is made in Mexico, by the way. And it's pretty damn freaking good.
Yes, most of the Stripe series are all out in Mexico, right?
Yes. Yep.
Tesi Switch, Rob, says, Michael, I was at Fender before they launched this guitar. I was playing the prototype right before they sent it back to Ed. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's the neck. Tessie, tell me, how about the neck? I love this neck, man. It's just, I like a thinner neck. So this thing really is right up my alley. But what do you think about the neck? I think it's fast as shit, man.
And while we're waiting for him to type that in, I will say one of the biggest things about pissing me off about Summer NAMM being canceled is I don't get to hang out with Rob.
Is it officially canceled?
Yeah.
Oh.
Johnny Beane in the house.
No way.
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. Cheers to
Hello, Johnny Beane.
cheers to Johnny. I wouldn't be on the screen right now. I wouldn't be on the screen right now if it wasn't for him.
Neither would I.
Neither would I. I wouldn't even have a channel.
Wow. So the next thing for me is there was the whole thing with the volume knob on those two Fender Strats, and then I was kind of like Charvels, I always have, and this is a 2016 Charvel. This is Tobacco Burst. It's got a pretty nice finish on this one.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cloudy almost. Tobacco Burst, but with a bit of cloud. Different than a Fender Strat Tobacco Burst. It's got that sort of cloudy sort of shape up there in it. And it's really just dark on the back. But yeah, and it's got that tap thing where you pull this this volume knob here up to get more pickup options. And yeah.
So other than the pickup selector switch, it's kind of interesting how that looks like the newest in the Stripe series that came out for Summer NAMM last year. You know, They were doing all those bursts in the Stripe series all of a sudden, and I'm looking at that guitar and I'm like, yeah, that looks like the Stripe series they brought out last summer.
Yeah, so yeah, this is definitely 2016. So it does have the thumb wheel adjust here. Probably a Charvel from 2015 doesn't have that. I know we talked about that like an hour and a half ago. But
and that has the compound radius neck too, I think, right? Like a 12 to 16 or something like that.
Oh yeah, like this neck is very similar to a Fender Strat. So it's kind of, for me, it's almost like a step up from the Fender Strat. I mean, I like the way Fender Strats look with the pick guard. That looks cool in a Stevie Ray Vaughan, Robin Trower, Richie Blackmore sort of way. They look cool. That's fine. But this was just at that time when I got this sort of new just 4 years ago, and basically it was the whole volume knob issue. And but these necks are very similar to a Fender Strat, and yeah, just at the time I said let's give it a shot. So then I started playing the Charvels. Yeah. And I'll just do this is sort of a 2-for-1. I'll just give you a quick one on this one. I know we love EVH guys, but I always was a fan of this whole snake skin idea from Warren DeMartini from Rat.
Oh, hell yeah.
So this is a Charvel. Wait. That's where he puts the signature on the back of the headstock. I was always a fan of the snake skin. And there is a more expensive one that the headstock is also sort of painted with the skin. That's like, $4,000, and this is like $1,600 or whatever. I just wanted to have one in my collection. I am a big Warren DeMartini fan. He sort of had a voice back in the mid '80s there when everybody was doing the tapping and everything. He didn't need to. He was doing his own thing, and a bunch of their music that a lot of people have even known. There's an album about 10 years ago called Infestation or something. It just has some wicked rockin' songs on it. And there's even a I think mid '90s. There's an album. It's just self-titled Rat. It's like yellow, and there's a guy walking down the street or something, and red on it or something, and it had some great songs on it. And I just, he's just one of those guys. When I hear him play, where's my guitar? I gotta get to my guitar.
Makes you want to pick it up.
Yeah, and one of my favorite songs of theirs. There's the movie from 1990 called Point Break.
Right.
Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves movie, and actually the ending credits. There's one of my favorite Rat song. It's called "Nobody Rides for Free." It's just a ripping song, and not a lot of people talk about it. So I got to give kudos that I get the goosebumps even talking about that stuff, right? So yeah.
Well, since Jay Hannon has called dibs, if you ever give up guitar playing, he's called dibs on your 740. I'm going to call dibs on the Warren DeMartini. Oh, and I'm sure Clinton's already claimed the Bumblebee. You just don't know it yet, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I guess probably Ben's next. Do you have another guitar there, Ben?
Sure. I'm just looking. Bent Tom says Warren DeMartini also owns what is supposedly the best sounding Marshall amp ever made.
Wow.
That says something. That's a bold statement. And as I am grabbing a guitar, I will also say, Steve, that Warren DeMartini guitar might need to have some FU-tone treatment since Warren's an FU-tone cat.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Yeah. Adam sets up all of Warren's stuff for him.
Yeah, I do. I do like the Floyds just diving one way. So these Charvels and the Fender Strats I have, they're sort of floating bridges. So there is that block stopper that's off. I've never done that to a guitar, so I'll probably maybe test one on one of my cheaper guitars just to try it out.
Well, you know what? Speaking of cheaper guitars, shabam.
Wow.
This would be my Jackson JS11.
What year would that
I
be?
mentioned one of these because this is probably my favorite bang for the buck guitar.
Wow.
Yeah, because they retail for $200 Canadian or $150 at Sweetwater.
Holy shit.
And they play nice and they sound good. Like the pickups are decent. The only issue is, of course, it doesn't like holding tune when you use the trim bar because it's got, a non-locking nut that isn't the best nut that isn't cut well, and with that string break angles. But I just use it as a hardtail, and this thing, my God, it just sounds amazing.
So what year?
Neck, and it's got that thin Charvel style neck, though, Steve.
Okay.
That's the only thing. It's a little chunkier than the Charvel, but it still has, that kind of flat spot in the middle of the back of the neck.
Are you talking Charvel or Ibanez?
Or Ibanez, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, Ben. What year is that guitar?
Let's say 2019. I bought it for my birthday for myself last year.
Happy birthday.
Actually, I believe it was like one of my first YouTube checks came in, and I had a birthday coming up, so I was like, Ben's buying a guitar.
So the official color of that is Beyond Blue. What is the actual name of that? Do you know?
I think electric blue or metallic blue. They're available in black, white, blue, and red.
Oh, okay.
And the red is a really nice candy apple red, but I already got the Kramer in the red, so I thought, well, I'll get this one in blue.
Oh, okay.
And I see Mark Taft trying to call dibs on the 67 Telly. I get one between my sister, the captain.
I'll give you
Mark might be in the running because he was born in 67, so it'd be cool for him to have a 67 Telly.
Right. And I was born in 71, so you know which guitar's coming to me. Yeah, right.
That's right. I don't know, Steve. Yeah, right. And you need a Telly in your collection, right?
I don't have a Telecaster.
Well, see, now there's your famous line. Steve, why don't you have a Telly? Oh, I'm just waiting until Ben dies. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right.
Huh? What?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Michael, he's going for a guitar, probably.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Where's the Jackson made? China, I do believe.
Oh, really? I see a lot of guitars coming out of China that are super cheap.
Oh yeah.
Lots of replica stuff.
Well, the biggest thing is, like pay a guy $10 an hour or pay a guy $1 an hour and use all the same parts, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know.
ZD351 says, I call dibs on any lefties. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, right. Ben Tom says he has a 1967 twin black face reverb.
Yes, he does.
Twin
He also
reverb.
has an early 70s Plexi.
Wow. We got a guy named
Steve, did you see this week Pete Thorne put out a video? He has borrowed, Pete Thorne has borrowed Steve Vai's modded Marshall head he used from the Dave Lee Roth tours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of the Jose mods done to it. So he did this hour-long video on breaking down the head with Dave Friedman talking about the guts of it, and then interviewing Steve Vai talking about getting it. It was an awesome video. I highly recommend it, folks, if you haven't seen it already.
Nice.
Steve Vai's, I forget what makes a great amp or something it's called.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great shows on YouTube, that's for sure.
The
captain's back.
There's the captain.
I'm going to find another guitar.
Yeah. Had to go up, check, see if there's any sharks, and come back down.
Yeah, hello and welcome to Why Not? He says metallic blue is the color for the Jackson. There we go.
Metallic blue. All right.
Yeah, a very high-tech name, right? I don't know, metallic blue.
That works, right?
What do you got there, Mike?
I have an Ibanez.
Ooh, an Ibanez.
Yeah. This is an RG 1X6 DLB.
See, the way I was looking at the headstock with the colors, at first I thought it might have been Anita Strauss.
No, it's not. Does have beautiful top.
That reminds me a lot of a Sir in many ways. You know, the way with the binding?
Yeah. The binding popped out with me too, man.
Yeah.
What's the official color of that? Is it like purple burst or something? Or
I have no idea what you would call it. If you look at it, it's purple, it goes into gray, and then kind of like a white. It is sick.
How long have you had that one, Michael?
About a year.
And do you know what year that guitar was made?
It was made in 18.
Sorry?
2018.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Look at the back, though.
Wow, it's like a different color.
Yeah, it almost has like a barn board grain to it in a good way.
Yeah.
That is, sick.
It's killer.
It's killer. Look at the neck.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Go-to tuners.
Very nice. Jack the Rabbit says it looks like a nebula burst. Ben Tom's loving the white pickup.
Actually, I think he's right. I think it is called nebula burst. I think he might be right.
Jack the Rabbit is saying Purple Heart and Maple.
Yeah. Could be a Purple Heart fretboard.
Yeah, but it's fucking pretty, man.
That is nice.
What was the inspiration to get that one, Michael?
Because I fucking wanted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, I've Jay was an inspiration. You know, he's always played Ibanez, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick one of these fucking things up. And I got this at a damn good price, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me try it. And I'm telling you right now, these guitars are crazy good for the price.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy good.
How's the neck for you, Michael? Do you find
I love it.
It's not too thin. I can see it's not too thin.
Yeah, it isn't. It isn't. It's got some meat back there. That's what I need when I play. I got to have some meat behind the neck.
That's what she said.
Yeah, right. No hesitation, Ben. Good one.
Not even. The alcohol is fully into the blood stream.
Like you're waiting for me to say it.
And if you look at the back, look at the way it flows over to the sides.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was that considered an expensive guitar, Michael?
What did I pay for this thing?
It's made in Indonesia.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So it'd be what are they? The higher, lower, because it's not low. Low would be the Geos. Then you get into the RGs and RGAs.
Floating tremolo. And I tell you right now, man, I don't know what they do with these things. You cannot knock them out of tune.
Vintage Sound says about $800.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit, I paid $5,000.
I was gonna say the paint job. I like the back.
No, I didn't. I'm just joking, vintage.
And Crowbar says meat behind the neck is better than in the face. Just saying.
Now that's funny shit. Yeah. I've been playing guitar a lot. I've been playing guitar a lot more over some of the other ones, man. It's just a fun guitar, man.
I've been putting out some killer stuff.
Yeah, John Harden in the chat. John, you might want to go back about an hour and a half on this video. The guys showed about, I don't know, 7 Telecasters in a row.
Yeah, we kind of went through the Telly phase, and there may be one more.
Yeah, and it's not Telecaster Tuesday either. It's Sunday.
That's right.
It's not going to be the one I'm going to fight your sister over, is it?
No, we already showed that one.
Okay.
I only have one left to show because one of them isn't here right now. I've been without my signature guitar for a month and a half, and I'm not impressed. All right, let's see here. ZD 351 or ZD 351 says Ben might test positive for blood in his alcohol. That's true. Ah, yes. What you got there, Steve?
Oh, so this is I'm gonna look up the year. Yeah, these came out in 2014. These are already 6 years old. You can't really get them anymore from EVH to order. They don't make them anymore. It's discontinued. This is the Crop Circles guitar, and yeah, so Crop Circles. I like all that mystery stuff and aliens and all that stuff. So when I saw one of these, I had to get one. I did. This is back to the '84 Floyd, another one that I replaced out. I'm not a D-Tuna guy. I just play classic rock stuff pretty much, and anything I write musically myself, it's half a step down and I go for it. I'm busy enough with 6 strings and playing all the stuff that we play. And yeah, here's the bye, see you later on the back.
Excellent wordplay by ZD351. Eh? You could have given us fair warning before showing us that.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of little things on this you can upgrade, like these screw eye bolts. They're the number 6 screw eye bolts. If you're in the United States, they're made by Everbuilt, number 6. But you can go to a hardware store and just get the number 6 screw eye bolts. It's about the size of a quarter, the circumference. That's the correct size. I don't buy the EVH ones from the Van Halen store.
The EVH locking strap lock.
Yeah.
System, some long name.
Yeah. So you can just go to a hardware store. You can get the screw eye bolts, like a set of like 2 for like probably $5, and then you can get like these clasps are very similar to the ones that EVH. You can get these for a couple bucks, so you can do it for under $10. Or do you want to pay the EVH ones and pay $35? But I'm not knocking my buddy Jeff Hausman in the Van Halen store. I'm just saying.
We love Jeff.
Yeah, I've known Jeff since May of 1993. I met him at the Cabo Wabo.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just the ones from EVH, the Van Halen store, are like, it's like a thick sort of brass color, but I actually like the stainless more. I'm a real stainless guy. I am with my cars too. I got like stainless, like chrome. I like polishing the chrome up and stuff. I just like that color. So. Yeah. They have the thumb wheel adjust, and this is when, like the Charvel EVH Art Series, it's R2 at the nut. The Fender Strats I have R2 at the nut, 1 5/8. That's what I'm comfortable with. So the only knock I have on this stuff, this is where it's R3. It's just a little bit wider. I guess when you call it the country chords, right? There's just a little bit more space between the strings. So. Yeah. It's a personal decision and a personal comfort. I like the Fender Strat neck or the Charvel necks because I got the issue with the Fender Strat volume knob with the Charvels. Really, if I would have put them in a line, I'd be grabbing the Charvel because it's got the R2 nut. It's comfortable, and I don't have a problem with the volume knob. So that's 30 years of playing this stuff and just narrowing it down. What do I like? And we'll get into the building part of this in a sec. But
Sure.
So I had, it's sort of tell, I have like two of a lot of things. Like I got the Sammy Hagar Washburn, I got the ketchup and the mustard, and I've got two Fender Strats. I got a couple Charvels. So if I got an EVH crop circles guitar, which I had to have, I guess collectability wise, I just got, this is basically an EVH stripe series red with black and white stripe that they offered. It's not the one that you guys ordered. It's just, again, the Cobble Wobble connection. This is serial number 1990, and that's the year that the Cobble Wobble opened. It's the we just had the 30th anniversary of the Cobble Wobble, so that's why this one, I have a bit of sentimental value with it.
Did you happen upon that? Did you happen upon that, or did you actually look for that serial number?
Fluke.
Really?
Yes, sir.
And was that the Sleeps Countdown guitar?
No, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
I think it's next. But I haven't upgraded the Floyd on this. It's just, I gotta be honest, it's not a guitar I play a lot. I have so many guitars. What do you play? Well, I got sort of 5 main electrics and an acoustic, and that's kind of it. But yeah, bit of I'm not being negative. I'm being honest. Bit of fret sprouting on this guy. I can feel the frets on the side of the neck when my hands run up and down the side. Not very comfortable.
Right. Well, it's been a few years too, right? So
yeah, but when I pull the crop circles one is perfect.
And that also has to do with the temperature and the humidity and everything like that too, though.
I listen to guys when they say that, but I've got a lot of like sort of maple necks here with these fingerboards, and
I think it's a newer wood, Steve. I think your neck on this one it shrunk that much more, because I've noticed that neck is a lot lighter in color than a lot of the guitars you've shown. Yeah, and being that much lighter tells me it's newer.
Yeah, it totally depends on a piece of wood. 100%, because there's no reason that a piece of wood would do something different than another piece of wood other than that piece of wood. You know what I mean?
I just gonna say though, like it's not like it was ever smooth. It's always had
okay. All right, that's fair. Yep.
Yeah, because the ones that would be borderline at the factory are definitely going to be fret sprout within a couple of years. Whereas if they do it 100%, then you're kind of a 50-50 if you'll ever even see the fret sprout.
Yeah. So again, screw eye bolts in. Sorry, and I put an MXR knob on this because I'm a big fan of the MXR knob on these guitars.
That's the MXR knob.
Yeah. No, I just got so many guitars, so many things going on. I'm building Kramer 5150s for people now. Like it's crazy. So yeah, I'm pretty busy now. Yeah. Anyway, that's my story.
And I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Ben, do you have anything else?
I have one more I'll show, and this is mainly for Bent Tom because this is one of his favorite guitars of mine. And this has become my number one for gigging. And this would be my 2015 Made in Mexico dual humbucker Telly.
Nice.
So it does have the coil tap. And these are some hot pickups. These are 15K output pickups.
Wow.
Yeah, so hot pickups. And I love this thing. Yeah, 2015 Made in Mexico. It's got the gut cut. Nice big gut cut. One thing I do still need to do is replace this control plate so I can put a Tesi switch in it.
Right.
So speaking of which, Rob said that you need a stainless steel Tesi switch, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there's so many different things I want to test and try. I'm occupied by these builds that I'm doing. So Ben, my question with that is, have you played a Telecaster before that one that had like the double humbucker situation?
No, actually. I never played, like, other than a handful of Telly Deluxe reissues in music stores that have the wide range humbuckers. Yeah. I never played it, but I fell in love with this playing it at the store, but it was out of my price range. So I bought a cheaper Telly, which had some problems, went in for factory repair. They damaged it during the repair. So Fender stepped up, and it was a discontinued Chinese Telly I had. And Fender Canada stepped up and they said, give him any Mexican Fender he wants. Or
That's badass. That's great customer service, man.
Yeah, because the original guitar was one of those modern player Tellys with the Strat pickup in the middle, Telly neck, and a humbucker.
Yeah.
And they had discontinued. Those retailed for, I think, let's say 500 Canadian, we'll say it retailed for. This retailed for 8.25 Canadian. So right there, Fender's losing money. Because you know the market isn't that much.
Up for them for making it right, man. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You'll go back and buy again. I mean, it's
exactly.
You got a bunch of questions here, Ben. Jack the Rabbit is asking, who's the girl on the sticker?
Oh, that's a good question. We're not sure exactly, but it was in a bundle of stickers that John BL sent me.
Right.
And I've always kind of liked pinup girls, so she kind of reminds me of April O'Neil.
And then ZD351 is asking, was it originally 2 humbuckers or did you mod it?
Originally 2 humbuckers, yeah, from the factory. Fender blacktop humbuckers.
Right. So what's the first year that they would have been doing that, Ben? Like the double humbucker thing, you know?
I think they started it, I want to say around 2012, 2013, and they were all like, they were dual black bobbin. And then they did the zebra a couple of times. And this is the only year I saw where it was 1 black and 1 chrome bobbin.
Right.
So it's a little different in that respect. And I like the chrome bobbins. I don't know. It looks a little extra flashy. So.
Yeah, it makes you think for a second. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, what is that thing? And then, like say, I'm big into pinup girls, and then when John BL sent me the stickers, this one fit perfectly between the pickup rings. Like it literally just touches each pickup ring, so it was like it was meant to be there.
Someone in the chat.
And different bridge. Yes, great Van Zine. I replaced the bridge with a roller saddle bridge.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, and actually, and just the saddles themselves. The bridge plate, because the replacement bridge was a top load instead of through the back of the body, so it didn't fit right. So I just replaced just the saddles themselves.
A mahogany or rosewood? Looks like rosewood.
Rosewood.
Yeah.
Rosewood fingerboard. Don't know what the body's made out of. Alder, probably.
Captain, it looks like Vintage Sounds has a question for you.
Any chance you need any pedals? Vintage Sounds is asking.
Actually, I just actually bought a pedal.
You did?
You're the pedal man. Yeah, you.
I got a couple.
Yeah, you. Wait, hold on.
I got a couple laying around.
You. There you go. Yeah, you.
Only 65 or so, Steve.
Yeah, right.
That's when you're like, want to ask you about the delay pedal off air. I'm like, what do you want to know, bud? Yeah.
I know.
I've been on
the road a lot for work, so I just got this the other day.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, PS could be for power supply, but I was thinking, pitch shifter harmonist. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm hearing if you can kind of tweak this in to a little EVH sound from the Sammy Hagar era. Yeah.
A little cheaper than the Eventide harmonizer pedal.
Well, talk to me. You know anything about this?
I do know a bit about it. A buddy of mine used to use one quite a bit, playing Iron Maiden covers, because he would actually use the harmonizer, for all with the relative third or fifth or whatever to do the dual parts. He'd just do them by himself. Hey, Tesi Switch says, okay, all, I got to go ship those orders. See y'all's next time. See ya, Rob. I will be texting you tomorrow as well, because I need to put in an order through Tesi Switch.
Good night, Tesi.
Wow.
Actually, I got to put in a couple orders through them, because I got to send some Tesi Switches out to Travis in Victoria.
Whoa.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's building one of my signature guitars, so I need to get a Tesi Switch out there. Since he had built the guitar, I added the Tesi Switch to the design. So
nice.
Yoshi sells them. Yeah, Yoshi sells a lot of stuff. Vintage Sounds.
Yeah, you ain't shitting. Yoshi's a cool dude, man.
He is. Awesome. think we'll go for a little while longer here. We've already done 3 hours. Isn't that insane?
I'm gonna pull another pedal up since you're the pedal guy.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna throw another guitar up. But hold on, I'm gonna show you this. I'm pretty sure you know about this pedal, Ben. It is pretty crazy.
Okay. It's a Wampler.
It's a Wampler.
It's a great name, Wampler.
Yeah.
I have it.
Of course you do.
You know what it is?
I just saw a brief glimpse of the end of the box, I bet you, and I think I already have it.
Comes in this little package, by the way, which is badass.
BC Rich says 65 pedals. I feel so much better now. Yeah, because I sold a few. Then again, I think I had 3 come in last week. Ah, yes, the Pinnacle Deluxe.
Wow.
Eddie in a box.
Exactly. This thing is fucking crazy. Oh, you have the so you're bigger than I am.
Mine's up for sale.
Is it really?
Yes. It's funny. I traded Guitar Hack for this. I traded my Lawrence Petross design 74, which is based off of a 74 Marshall. And I told him, I'm like, sorry, dude, I'm going to do it. I can bring this in, do a demo on it, whatever. And he's like, I don't know, man. He goes, what?
This is the
he's like,
also.
Wampler makes great stuff, but you're just going to be like, it's good, but you're not blown away. And after playing Lawrence's stuff, I had plugged it in. I was like, wow, it's good.
But I'm not blown away.
Yeah, it's not Lawrence's mojo.
Put it up again, because this says deluxe also. This just, I guess,
Yes, yours is the version 2, I believe. Mine's the version 1.
Oh, okay. All right. It's a good pedal. I enjoy it.
I think yours, you can switch the boost to before or after the gain circuit, whereas this one only has the boost prior, which I hate, because I'd rather have the boost post because used as a lead boost.
Exactly.
I don't want to hit a boost and get more gain that I can't control.
Yeah.
Let's see. My niece Hurt says pedals take up too much room and allow for too many options. Hurts my brain. No. Can't have too many pedals.
Yeah, if I chime into that, I mean, certainly my sound that I get, I'm going through just a bit of chorus, and I go in through a overdrive distortion, and that's my basic sound. And then I'll hit a phaser or some kind of boost when I need to solo or something. I mean, that's a simple, other than like just plugging into an amp. Yeah, you get a distortion pedal and maybe another one, a foot pedal or two, and you can get a good sound. I've been playing it for years, and I've just started experimenting. I ordered a delay pedal and this Eventide harmonizer to try a couple new things. So I've been playing the same way for so long, and just trying out different things. And it's just as soon as you find the correct sound with the knobs,
yep,
stick with it. I take a photo of it. I know where it is. I know what the sound is that I want, and
There's another one, Captain. I got this one on Monday, a Boss OS2 overdrive distortion.
Nice.
So that's the one I use.
And to get your Hendrix tone, Lawrence Petross was able to resurrect from the dead my vintage fuzz pedal.
Wow.
Oh my God, I remember those.
Yep. So this has been resurrected. So this is basically like a late 60s fuzz face.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ben Tom says, just don't go down the wet, dry, wet route. It ends badly.
Oh, God.
Nah.
No, if you do it right, the wet, dry, wet is fucking killer, man.
Yep.
Absolutely killer.
Oh, and one more. Some assembly required.
Uh-oh.
This is a clean boost / overdrive kit from Lawrence Petross. I got to build in the next week or so.
Some assembly required. That's the understatement of the evening.
Well, the funny part, he says, "Hey, man, if I send you one of those kits, can you do a video on it?" And I says, "Sure." And then I thought, there's two ways to go about it. I could do it myself, which ends up in a lot of swearing and burnt fingertips. Or I was going to get my buddy, a local guy that can build pedals, and I was just going to film him do it because, he's a professional. And then Lawrence's response was, "I prefer the burning and cursing." So burning and cursing it is. So tomorrow I'll paint the housing, let it dry, and that'll be step one.
So any more guitars before we get out of here?
What do you got there, Steve?
Yeah, so this was ordered the day after Winter NAMM 2017.
Nice guitar mix.
This is really the guitar I always wanted since I was 15 years old. Is a Kramer 5150. Was really my favorite guitar that Eddie played, and I always wanted one. So EVH came out with these, and this I ordered it the day after NAMM. So this is actually serial number 20.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just put a Kramer decal on there. I mean, it's paying homage to these guitars. You can really now I build these, and I'm way more technical and perfect on where the stripes are.
You could take it apart if you wanna.
Well, you could. I mean, the body shape's not the same. It's just there are little things about it that aren't completely accurate. But at the time, I just didn't care. I was just like, oh, they're releasing one of these. I got to have one. And then I fluke out with serial number 20.
Right.
So,
that's crazy.
Every time someone posts one on the Facebook pages and that, I'm like, hey, what's your serial number on that thing? So I haven't met anyone that's under 20 yet.
Cool.
Yeah,
good luck, because probably you would think the first 20 get handed out to industry people. Eddie's going to take a few himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is right around the time when I was watching Johnny Beane's show, and Dave Nesdall and Rob Johnson would talk about the replicas, and they started talking about this company called Musicraft that has this headstock is a little stubbier than the Gibson Explorer one that was copied for Eddie. So then Musicraft, they had a Kramer Pacer body they could make, replica, and then the banana head headstock, and I was like, just learning and listening, watching the YouTube shows, and I sit on my couch over here and watch a soccer game or a hockey game, and all of a sudden I'd have the YouTube playing, and every time they talked about the Kramer 5150, I'd stop watching. I'm dead serious. I was like, I want to know how to make them.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So that's what I do now, and all of a sudden people want these things. So this is one that I built. This is from Musicraft. It's a Musicraft Kramer Pacer body. And this is the banana headstock neck. It seems like everybody gets these Musicraft ones. Now there's another company called Butala that apparently sort of on the back here, coming from the back of the headstock towards the front, it's actually true that it actually gets thinner down here. So there's companies out there that are really fine tuning the Kramer 5150 guitar to get it really exact. And we have definite confirmation. You can watch Johnny Beane's show or even on YouTube. Just type in the name Paul Unkert.
Yep.
It's his last name's Unkert, and he actually talks. Dave's there, Johnny Beane, all of them, and he definitely was the guy that made the Kramer 5150 neck for Eddie Van Halen. So he definitely confirms that. So hey, I ordered a Butala neck, but now Musicraft, as of last week, doesn't make bodies anymore. They're just concentrating on these necks. So maybe they're going to upgrade how they do their necks. So now I have to go elsewhere for the bodies. So I'm trying out a few different companies to try them out. But yeah, there's just people locally here that want me to build these. So this was just wood. I couple layers of white, then do the striping with tape. There's 5 different widths of tape, and then also for the black stripes. And I poly up my laundry room, actually, construction poly when I'm ready to paint. And this is a Whale Tail Floyd.
Nice.
One of the reissue ones from Jim Francis is his name. This is a Seymour Duncan 59 pickup. Whoops.
That's a beer, but that's okay.
It was so this R2 nut here isn't like the ones they have now. That sort of, this is called it's called like a humpback saddle. It's called. So that's what they used back in like 1982. So like I searched these things out to get exact as I can. And this string retainer is actually circular all the way around. That's the way it's supposed to be. And yeah, just fine tuning this thing as much as I can. And I'm building like 5 of these right now. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's fun.
How many you have in the pipeline right now? How many people are waiting for the guitars?
I'm building one right now, and there's 4 more I got to build.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, but again,
it comes to mind, Mr. Anderson.
What's that?
Are you coming to NAMM, assuming they have one in January? Are you going to make it to NAMM, buddy?
It's all about through all the guys, like so I can get a pass. If I can get a pass, I'm there.
Okay. Well, if you need a pass, talk to me, okay?
We got to get you in,
No,
man.
I'm saying it right now live to you. I need a pass.
You're taking care of them, bud.
Okay, I'll fly down to Anaheim, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing that NAMM was missing this year was Steve Anderson.
Yeah, right. So that's the rumor.
We were all there. We needed Steve. You weren't
there. That's the next rumor going around. Like they've had the 78 white with black and straight Frankie, and then they had the Bumblebee replica they did, and then now they're I don't know, 2007, whenever it was, they did the $25,000 Frankenstein. But I think the next mission is, I think EVH, like Fender with Gibson, they're going to collaborate to do like a full-on version of this relic. Maybe they'll do like a brand new one, maybe a brand new looking one, sort of like this, and then like a 1986 version, and then one with the 7th tuner, what it looks like now. I think like they have to do it. I think they have to do a collaboration to do that.
I don't think there's going to be a collaboration between Fender and Gibson. However, unofficially, there's a major relaunch next year of Kramer guitars.
Oh, okay.
You heard it here first. Unofficially.
Right. Yeah, I've heard
they did Gibson last year. They did Epiphone this year. From what I've heard, Steinberger and or Kramer are on the books for next year.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I've heard all kinds of rumblings, but you kind of almost expect it somehow that they could make it happen. But because why not? Like everybody's going to make money.
See, now I'm going to be texting Aljon Go once we got off air.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And shout out to Aljon. He's doing great stuff.
Oh, right. Cool.
So, all right. Well, we've done well over 3 hours, guys.
Holy moly.
We just
I noticed we're down to about 43 watching. We were up to about 80 watching at one point. Which is
everybody's checked out.
So I will say at this point, do you have anything to add, Rummeister?
Do I have anything to add?
Yes.
If you know what, if anybody's interested in one of these, just contact the guys here and I can make it happen. It takes a bit of time because I got to search the parts, but yeah, I'm excited to do them. And there's lots of guys doing them, but it's really, it's always getting these stripes right. Like so many guys, this stripe right here, it goes one and then it bends. Everybody misses that. Like
I see the bend. Yeah, it's subtle.
It does bend. I brought out the construction tools. Okay, it comes down here, and at this 0, it kind of double sort of over. There's a stripe, and there's another stripe that sort of overlaps it in the 0 to come down. It's just geeky, full on accuracy thing. But I've seen so many of these that are wrong. I know right away.
Yeah.
When I look, and I'm going right down to the details. Right.
Well, it's like with Dave. You can literally go like that, and Dave's like, the 4th stripe was off.
Oh yeah, no,
exactly.
Totally. Yep. So I got into it, and it's super fun, and people love them. So yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Islander Winder says, "Don't stop yet. Uber Eats is bringing me more whiskey."
Yeah. Right.
I love it.
Which is pretty impressive because he's out on the Rock where it's 10 to 1 in the morning. So if he can get Uber Eats to deliver booze at 10 to 1 on a Sunday night, that's impressive.
He's the man.
Quentin, yes, you did miss the Bumblebee. Go back about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Right. Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, right.
We showed off a good 40 guitars tonight, I think.
Yeah.
And there's more in the coffers, so we'll pull them out.
I think we may have set a record for a live stream.
Well, there you go. And there's more guitars. We might have to have a part 2 at some point.
I think we should have a part 2. What do you think, folks in the chat? Part 2?
Yeah.
Hey, Winston McKay, Matt Beekman, hello, welcome. Mighty Captain, do you have anything to add, sir?
All I have to say is thank you, first of all, for inviting me. I had a blast tonight. And everybody, please stay safe.
Yes.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe, stay well.
Yeah, stay safe, stay well. And, hopefully, I know a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now, working a lot of stuff. Just keep the faith, man. Everybody, all of us, it's all going to be all right. We're going to get through it together.
I agree on that. I couldn't have said it better myself. Let me think. Coming up this week, we have Connects with Guitars tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm just going to confirm. Guest this coming Sunday is, Butt Cheeks, which is awesome. We'll be talking about cigar box guitars and other stuff, which is awesome. And I believe I am finally releasing a demo on the Tube Screamer this week. A classic.
Awesome.
So there we are. Look forward to that, folks. And man, I got to make some more videos. Oops. No rest for the wicked. So until next time, folks, if you guys just hold the line, you guys know how it works.
Yeah.
As always, thanks everybody that donated to the channel tonight. Thanks everybody that tuned in, new or returning. This has been awesome. As always, hold those doors open. Let that guy in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. Karma is real. I'm living the dream. Steve's living the dream. The captain's living the dream. I hope you are too. Be well, be safe, and be good to each other, folks. Cheers.
Ben.